the mana will be collected. Getting a little bit chaotic all over the map, actually. Still got 18 teams alive, so lots of moving and shaking to be done, but...
Hey guys, watch party for ALGS APAC South Regional Finals.
And, you know, no big commitments necessarily here and there, but we're listening, ready for Serenity, so we'll see what they're up to and hear how they're going heading into game number 1.
Getting her back. Careful, no one walks up. We need to play for the fucking, like, down here.
Yeah.
We can't let anyone play it.
They evac anyone now.
Yeah.
Let him evac then. It's your last guy.
The regional
Yeah.
finals,
I'm
it's a
grabbing
watch
guys.
party,
Can't
guys.
see him. I'm shooting last guy.
Yep. Hunker on him. He's
There,
really
there.
low. Nice.
It's fine, he'll die, he'll die. Bats here, bats here.
I'm leading quickly. Yeah.
We have to be careful no one comes from our right side. That building is a big threat when we play the ditch, okay?
Yeah.
Careful here.
I'm just
They're
waiting
playing
here to make
wide.
sure no one's coming
Yeah.
from my building. Oh, good.
There was a team that flew down here.
People
They
fighting
might
in the
still be there.
trench over here.
Okay,
Yeah.
okay. Let's slide forward a bit.
There's people.
Okay, so Bugie and Code there discussing how to make those
AKA
next
Makuma.
rotations. Obviously, there's some nice shots onto the guy on the evac tower here, but all of a sudden, the ground is disappearing underneath their feet. Everyone up the top here in Siphon going to have to move into launch site, and with that next circle having so much of it, essentially in the mountains, there's not a lot of room for these teams.
Well, Tom Yum Kung, we haven't really been speaking too much about them today, but they're also going to be a factor in this
Okay.
lobby. Points
Ooh.
already on the board, but that might be about as far as it's going to go.
Oh, he's dead. He dead. They dead.
Not going to be able to get out of there with that
They
extra
dead.
speed coming through from the Bangalore passive, and Akuma will pick up a pretty handy third party. They only have the blue shield,
Boom.
so they need to
Shoot.
be working hard. We'll jump over to X and Y, and
Nice.
my boy Streamfire eliminated in 13th place, so not a great start to the day for them. But your fellas,
Junior has a big stiff. I mean, mastiff.
topping the lobby at the moment.
Indeed, 5 points. Obviously, you know, they're getting a home circle here. That is a big deal. But being able to convert from that is a skill just like anything else in competitive Apex. And X and Y are doing that at the moment. They, you know, when you get one of those circles, because you're probably only going to get one in your entire series, if any, you have to absolutely make that count on the scoreboard. I mean, we saw, you know, we had that famous moment here, this split Elfish, where there was a launch site-ish zone, and on this particular zone close, like we're about to have, the kill feed just lit up, right? There were like 10 teams that died in about 10 seconds, and I think we're about to get one of those situations.
Uh-oh.
Yeah, I
Uh-oh.
mean, there's at least, what, 5, 6 over to the northern side, still just underneath Lava Siphon, and they have got a long way to go. So it should get pretty messy in just a second.
I don't know if any of them make it.
Well, VK Gaming's kind of the tip of the spear in a sense. They're the first team that's moving. I can see Pricey, Sharky, and Way are flying their way through
shit,
the air,
oh
so they
shit,
might have
oh
a bit of a
shit,
better
oh
chance of at least
shit.
getting somewhere, but as to whether or not that'll result in much, you can see for yourself.
Mali sila ng nilanding.
Might have been
Mali
better
yung
off
paglanding nila.
ground route. Aircore Gaming down a member right here, getting harassed by X and Y, who are set up really nicely inside of the command center of launch site, and XD finishing them off with the Mastiff.
See, 12
Oh
is
my
not
God.
for X and Y. So, look, they get taken out, but hey, at least they picked up a couple of kills on this zone close, which will help them still have a decent game. But they have been usurped by Legends Gaming, who come in and take that spot away from them. Very important. I mean, imagine that they were down to one player, and now they've pretty much got God Spot here with this next circle pull. In terms of how other teams made it out of that situation, there were pretty much only 2 methods that worked. One was an evac around the outside of launch site through the east side. Serenity made that work. They're still safe right now. And then there was the slow walk up as well. So VKG, we saw that do that on one side, and then Lightning Unicorn on the other.
This is a tough ask though for Lightning Unicorn, trying to fight an uphill battle in every sense of the word. Metaphorically speaking, it's never going to be easy either.
Di nila kaagad mapupushan. Sila yung inaabangan dun.
Get some information. Sooner or later, they're going to have to push their way in. Serenity.
Ilang squad ah? 7 squads?
They can actually quite happily play the side. And it doesn't seem like anyone's really going to contest them for that. So
Outside, wala
they
pang
just keep their heads
kills.
down for the moment. We might see
19.
the top few teams.
Wala pang kills.
That's a fair
Puro
point,
damage lang.
in that position. They've
Malit
got
lang yung
evacs
points. Pag
actually,
wala
so I
kang
think
kills, wala
now
kang
they've
damage lang.
resupplied.
Malit
They're actually
lang
gonna
yung
use that
points
to
na
take
ma-accumulate
the
nyo. Kailangan
high
may kills kayo.
So yep, there we go. They've just moved
also
up
assist.
onto the bins, as you
Yeah.
can see. Lightning Unicorn try and take some space inside. They're actually going to fight
Wonton dumpling,
Legends
magaling
Gaming
dito
right
wonton
now. Who we
dumpling.
said, sure, they were in Godspot, but they have to hold on to it.
Well, this gaming, it's a miracle in my mind that they've even gotten to this point. So I have to congratulate them on at least salvaging this game.
Oh my
Be
god.
able to go one better, as we know Legends generally have been able to do. They've been a very, very strong team this season. So
Tapang ka na lang. Wag mo nang...
This is Akuma on the outside. They were the team stopping anyone from rotating through this path. They're struggling to stay alive with Serenity on
kung
their
ma-revive pa niya
outside.
yun.
As you can see, they're blocking that lane. But they're also shoving VKG in the inside here and pushing them against the gas. So there's a very
Okay,
dangerous
revive.
position for all of the teams inside this command center.
Gonna get very messy in a second. One's got their little
Ooh.
patch of safety carved out, but eventually as that zone starts to push its way in, that's going to deplete, and we're outside there with the next ones to go, obviously. He's got with the 2x Sentinel. I don't know if it's exactly the weapon that you'd want it.
Wow.
At this point in the fight,
You can't
but
doubt it. After the Monsoon show the other week, you just cannot doubt that gun and that sight anymore. It is he's almost making it meta by himself.
Yeah.
Certainly some teams picking that up now. And, you know, obviously we haven't had a lot of vision of Wonton Dumpling so far, but they've already picked up 7 points here. And they are in a good spot. It's them and Serenity on the outside with the other 4 teams, saying, hey, you're not, you're locked in there together.
Yeah, not the place to be, really. As we said, though, every point matters. How many instances have we cast where we've seen a team go to 49 points? Well, it was maybe even Team Burger.
It
They
was.
got to 49, and then they won the
Yep.
next game. And then they got to 50, and they couldn't win a game since that
Six.
point. So it
6
was,
teams,
yeah, look,
final
painful.
circle.
So that's where, like, even one extra placement here or one extra kill would
Manggulo na kayo.
make a massive difference.
Manggulo na kayo. Simula na yung manggulo.
Potentially can actually be the difference maker between going to land and missing out. So, as I said, every point matters. And
See?
it sounds cliche, but
Sino initiator?
So,
Oh.
no, what's coming through? Player K
Goodbye.
from Legends has found 951 of VK Gaming, and that'll be VK Gaming out of the picture down to 5 remaining teams. Akuma in the fight right now. That's some good tracking. Not coming back on through. Pulse does go down, but at the end of the day, damage is being done. And
Akuma was
out of the
eliminated.
picture as well. Legends felt like mutually assured destruction, really. It was just a bit of a mess. Both teams go down, so final 3 remaining. Lightning Unicorn is the team that does take control of Command Center, and they have time to reset before the zone pushes them out.
Yeah, that's so important that, not only have they've been left alive as the only squad inside, but as you say, yeah, no knocks, no anything. They are all good to go, so now it's actually a pretty fair 3-way fight between Wonton Dumpling, Serenity, and Lightning.
Wonton Dumpling, magaling din to sila.
They didn't even get the chance to use a lot of their ultimates. We had
190.
the Shield Jammers going out there, or should I say stuck, and not being able
Yan lang kayo.
to be used. Who's in the better
Yan lang kayo.
position out of
Sino
these
yung
squads?
unang
Honestly, very
mag-initiate?
hard to tell. So much
Talo.
caustic gas around.
I think I'd like to
See?
take the bottom.
See?
I think I'd like to take the bottom.
Oh,
down
shit.
there with Wonton
Oh,
Dumpling,
shit.
because Serenity at the moment fighting up against Lightning Unicorn.
Okay,
If they do win
third
that fight,
party.
they lost a player on their way.
Bye-bye.
through. Of course, it's Wonton Dumpling to decide what else the time to go, and now is the time to
Patay,
take
Wonton,
the
see?
victory.
Sabi ko na nga ba eh.
First
Wonton Dumpling,
game
magaling dito sila.
of the day, and they do it quite easily.
Magaling dito,
as well.
Wonton Dumpling.
Has to be said, a very solid start.
Nakipag third party ka agad. Kinapitalize nila yung damage ng kalaban nila.
Match 1 done.
Hindi nila hinayaan mag-heal.
Look, Gino, we knew Wonton Dumpling were heavy hitters, right? And we had a quick
they are really
little
heavy
discussion
hitters.
about it.
Wonton
But
Dumpling.
just absolutely insane for them to take the first game. What an exceptional game from them. I feel like we didn't see too much, going into, watching the match fold out there. But, they're just sitting in the shadows. They're waiting for the perfect spots. Usually they steamroll and take down, every team in their path with a bit of KP. But I feel like they played this quite intelligently and to get that position. Also, Legends Gaming here, losing player K and Strafing Flame early on in the game, losing, I think it was Easy Flash to try and recover the team. And what a recovery it was. They had a major reset. They claimed a really strong spot there in launch site. But they were the meet between, Akuma and VK Gaming. They held on for as long as possible.
Yeah, it was a pretty amazing effort for them to get back into it, as you say. At the start of the game, you wouldn't have expected that they convert into quite a few points, and that's what the top teams do. And I think also, as you said, Wanton Dumpling playing that very intelligently, and that's also something you need to be a top team, and certainly a bow to their string that was probably missing in years past. When, you know, they weren't necessarily competing for land spots. They weren't in that sort of rarefied air, but, you know, landing at Thermal Station, it's a, you know, a shorter walk for them to get over towards launch site where we finish up, and they just sort of, just slowly work their way in from the west. And, yeah, oh my god, that final fight didn't even look close, man. Gugu just trained his vault sights on a couple of players, and they were no more.
Yeah, the cohesion is exceptional. Like, I feel like every time they take a fight, they win. It's absolutely insane to witness. And, you know, we always touch on that they like to sort of collect kills along the way.
Wanton Dumpling,
but yeah, just the fact that they are now getting that placement and look at them go there.
7 kills.
Again, Wanton Dumpling in the front and the forefront.
damage.
And Gugu, of course, with the lots of damage.
Mas malaki yung damage kaysa sa Serenity.
They're a great team.
8
and
kills.
I think what I was saying before
Second-
about Gugu is
second
kind of
place.
getting proven right here in this stats sheet. He is just looking around.
Second place Serenity, the
by
Wanton Dumplings.
far,
Mga heavy hitters.
you know,
Heavy
the player
hitters
with
na
the
yun,
most
ano,
damage
Wanton
here
Dumplings.
in this
Magaling
entire
din sila.
lobby. Legacy actually picked up more kills than him with 5, but yeah, it's 1700 damage. A JR as well. A player I was going to talk about, but you know, we were sort of
19
pushing through that
points.
SNY scouting report before.
Place-
He's certainly
place
been
points 12, kill
amazing
points
for X and
7.
Y so far this season, and a breadth of player pool as well. But let's have a look
Mga
at this,
heavy
this
hitters.
scoreboard
Wanton
here.
Ewan ko kanong
Yeah,
team
so I
tong
want to
Wanton
go
Dumpling.
down to the
Ano
bottom
kaya?
of the leaderboard there, and a
Wanton.
little bit of a difficult start there for the
Wanton
Boogie
Dumpling.
Borders, and even Tom Young Kung. They were eliminated quite early on. It was a bit of a tough start for like some of our, you know, top leader teams in the overall series. So, you know, even Team Burger there
China.
having it a little bit tough. But you know what? I did say that they start
China pala
out
to.
a little bit
Wanton
slowly,
Dumpling.
so we'll keep an eye on them. But let's head to the top of the leaderboard. Of course, Wanton Dumpling absolutely smashing that
Gugu,
game and securing first
XZZ,
place.
tsaka si
And
Boring.
like you
Boring
said,
yung
X and
ano.
Y, what an amazing
Yeah.
job
GL
they
nila.
did there. That
Yung
is
captain.
exceptional from them. They just, you know, obviously placing in third place there,
Approximate
but collecting that
total
many kills.
earnings,
Obviously,
7,600
they-
too.
to have that many kills there, they start in launch site. Obviously, we have
Last
the zone
competition
pool
nila
launch
is
site
very
there.
Apex
so
Dream
they were
Cup.
taking names as everyone was rotating in.
Price is
Yeah, it
price
was
nila
really just they
is
had that, you know, like the windows that open out
$1,405.
towards the entire field as
Second
they push
place.
towards you, and clearly getting a lot of last hits there to make that work for them. So even though they do get entered and
B tier.
and can't stick it out, still a fantastic game for them. I think the other thing that really interested me about that scoreboard, Lace, was how many teams had 1 and 2 points, right? And that was because we had that situation early on where so many teams
Kailan kaya
were just
yung
picking up 1
NA?
or 2 kills as other
Baka
teams
siguro
were
bukas
rotating in. There wasn't
or mamaya.
actually a lot of clean wipes, and you know, it's hard to say why that is from a macro level. We can only you know, speculate. Maybe you know, teams are playing their lives a little bit more
ALGS.
because it's regional finals, or yeah, I don't know, perhaps they're just a little bit scared and not willing to fully commit to the fight again because it's regional finals.
Yeah, exactly right. You know, I know there was a part where Serenity had the chance
Mamaya,
to sort of clean up,
1
I think it
a.m.
was the rest
LGS
of,
Pro League
one of the teams there in Lava Siphon,
match,
but you know what? Everyone's just
Day 9,
taking it a little bit
DMEA.
slowly, and that is totally fine.
Group
We're going to
B and
take
C.
ourselves a short little break, so we will see you momentarily back for regional finals.
It's a regional finals, APAC.
睡一个，睡一个，兄弟。好，来我这边，来我这边，来，好，还是进度。往这边跑，这边跑了。等着就行，等着就行。我们就会去高打击。好。
Anong date ngayon? Bukas pala yung NA.
睡一个，打一个，打一个，来，抓。
North America. 6 a.m. bukas. Abangan ko yan, abangan ko yan. Tapos mamaya, EMEA.
No, it's at least 2.
Group B and C. 1 a.m. Madaling araw.
On me. I'm betting. You boys out, boys. Fucking good! Good shit, Shocky. Well done.
Ewan ko kung pasok ba sila sa ano? NA mamaya or bukas silang Imperial Hall. TSM. Talo sila kanina eh. Fourth place ata yun.
What's the one?
Fourth place lang sila. Ewan ko kung pasok ba sila. China number one. China number one. China number one.
我被烧死了，倒了那，别急，一起打，别怕，别怕。
Magaling din talaga sila. Wonton dumplings.
I have no ammo. I have 0 bullets.
What do you need?
You need to go. You bet for him.
Oh my! No!
Bear Claw.
Let's fucking go. It's not
So, bukas 6 AM, which is NA. Ang mga Group B is Optic Gaming, PLP, Dark Zero, Complexity, Phase, Secret Formula, Ape Gang, Elevate Gaming, Temper, Eternal EC. Then Group C is Disguise, Legacy, Sentinels, Exit, Furia, Oversleepers, Moist, Esports, Meat Lovers, Nine Lies, Evolution. Hindi sila kasali, TSM. Knockout ang TSM sa ano. Yun yung last game nila kanina. Kaya pala sobrang ano, si Hal. Disappointed talaga si Hal tsaka si Raven. So silang apat. Hindi sila kasali. B and C to. Ewan ko lang kung baka next day baka may group A and B. Ewan lang. Knockout sila siguro. Yung top leaderboard kanina is Furia eh. 32 kills ata yun sila. 6 games. So 6 games, 32 kills. Sila yung top leader. Sa top leaders gameplay.
Yeah, welcome back, everyone. I hope you're all geared up for a massive day of Apex Legends as we just reached the regional finals here in Apex South. And if you're just joining us and you don't know what's happening, we're doing things a little bit differently than previous weeks. We now have match point scoring. So the hype is real. Even, the teams right down at the bottom do have a chance for a spot at LAN. But that is if they get 50 points at a win, which is, something that can be incredibly difficult. We just witnessed our skills and spice-filled team, Wonton Dumpling Genome, take out the win in match 1.
We did, and I don't know, I keep thinking about the APAC North, regional finals that we had yesterday, Lace, where there was, it was Reject Winity that just came out and absolutely dumpstered everybody else. I don't know, man, if Wonton Dumpling got that kind of fire in the bag, if they bought it today, well, game 1's certainly gone that way.
That's it. It definitely goes their way, all the time. But, like we said, we've got 6 games lined up, but it could be 7, it could be 8, it could be 9. I know us casters probably want to have a nice little break, but I know you guys at home just want to see the passion and the energy, and we want some tight-knit games. We want to see those, those teams really, really power out, and that's exactly what we're going to do. We are hitting match number 2. We'll see you over on World's Edge.
Yes, indeed. Here we are again on to World's Edge. It'll be the last one, at least for the foreseeable future. We've got a couple of Storm points coming up right after this. So 4 teams that do
World's Edge match 2
being Legends Gaming. And we're wanting to get some maximum points right here, right
First
now.
Game's champion is Wonton Dumpling.
Distance maybe going into game 3. But realistically, obviously, I think for me, I'm looking at game 4 onwards, probably game 5, something like that, as where teams really start to unlock that match point capability.
Yeah, that's probably how it does usually shake out. But there's sometimes you get some outliers in Apex Legends, and Wonton Dumpling certainly trying to make that case for themselves. 19 points in the first game is a good way to do that. Ooh, okay. Interesting ring pull here. As you can see that, you know, the second circle sort of toggled on and off there. You know, you get the sense of if you didn't have a ring console in this game, maybe you think it's a geyser pull or something like that, right?
Lightning
it's
Unicorn
over there a little bit, or maybe that's a big mod, but no, it's very much center map. And should be finishing
Boogie Borders,
north of
Dream
the
Fire
mountainside here towards Monument.
WM,
yes, I'm reliably informed as well by the production team that there's been no changes coming.
Maydoy Yao BYD.
Probably in line with expectations. You would think if you've made it to this point in the season, if you're going into finals, probably would be wanting to be pretty set in what your ethos is or how you want to play your game. We'll potentially see some change-ups, obviously, going into Stormpoint. That's a different story, but at least as far as World's Edge is concerned, you'd hope that teams aren't making changes from one game to the next, because that, I think, would be a symptom of a bigger problem.
Yeah, no, I have to agree. Sometimes teams just kind of feel it, I guess, and you know, they're just they're more of like a, I don't know, an emotion-based team, a momentum-based team. But no, I would agree with you.
There was that famous Sutoraiku
True, the crypto change.
Swap. Yeah, the crypto back at when was that? 2021 Split 2 playoffs, I think it was.
Yeah, in Sweden for sure.
And they went from like doing nothing on day one, and then picked up crypto, and then just started doing really well. So that was a strange one, but yeah, look, not the thing that you're likely to see every day of the week.
No siree. It was Lightning Unicorn just hitting the survey beacon over here, and they've spotted it out. Casa from VK Gaming with it as well. So Casa was pulling down from Overlook to try and get that crypto scan himself. But as the beacon gets hit first there, Lightning Unicorn, they're going to throw the shot out at him. He's got about 50 health left.
He's all good.
I'm surprised they don't chase him there, honestly. I am surprised.
Well, VK Gaming do rotate their way down as well to help him out. So it would have actually ended up being a pitch 3-on-3, though. Yeah, Lightning Unicorn just going to take a little bit more of a reserved approach. And again, this is one of those situations where I almost feel that teams don't want to be overly aggressive and potentially tank an entire game and really get 0 points out of it if they can look at themselves and say, well, we're reliably able to get 3, 4, 5 points out of this game if we play this. And Lightning Unicorn may sort of have that kind of same mindset where they want to play a little bit of a longer game here early on in the
placement game. Always placement game. Play for placement.
It's a fair point as well.
But then, may placement ka, kung wala ka namang damage or kills, maliit pa rin yung ano. Maliit pa rin yung points. Kailangan makakills, may kills kayo.
Gladly make a deal with the devil for that one. Not kill devil, of course. They unfortunately did not make it into our top 20.
Muntik na. Almost.
Well, outside had a little
So na-observe ko dito sa ano sa ngayong season na to, maraming gumagamit ng Bloodhound. Dati walang gumagamit masyadong Bloodhound.
Fuse,
Maggie.
Slow start to this game. I guess part of that is just because less teams are to make that early rotate down.
Ang hindi masyadong ginagamit nun is Rampart and Bloodhound. Last season. Pero ngayong ngayong season na to sa ALGS, maraming gumagamit ng
right, because if you've got a ring all the way down one end of the map,
at saka wala akong masyadong
more people through
nakitang gumagamit ng ano, sino yun? Seer
situation, whereas if you've got a central ring,
noon last season ng ALGS, maraming gumagamit ng Seer. Ngayon, pinalitan nila ng Bloodhound. Ewan ko kung may
as many other teams because they
nerf ba nila yung Seer?
Rotate.
Hindi na ako masyadong updated sa ano, mga
and then it gets
parang sa Legends na Seer. Legends na Seer. I'm sure may mga meta, mga bagong meta sa guns, pero pagdating sa mga nerfed and buff,
quite on the pace for
Legends,
a game 3 match point availability, but
no idea.
That would be pretty extreme. Set themselves up in the Harvester, maybe not going to be the biggest long-term play for them. They do have the information as to where that next ring is going to pull, so I'm not sure they'll be too keen to even fight for this position too hard. Or wants to Firebird, rather, of course, the team on the other side of that engagement, but neither really too eager to fight over this position, which is fair enough considering where the ring is pulling. It's still a bit of a 50-50.
I mean,
although you think it will go up towards Fragment.
There is a ring console within the next ring, however, at Harvester. So I think there's a case to be made that, you know, taking out these guys and therefore getting access to that next round of information could be quite a good play for these guys. Because, as you said, you know, like, it's going to be a hard rotate. There's almost certainly going to be a team sitting in the choke to the north of Harvester. At the moment, that's KPG. So I think, you know, sort of just getting that notion for sure. Because, you know, there's still a chance it goes towards, let's say, you know, Budget Siphon over there or something like that. So if they get an interesting pull, could be the ticket. But no, it very much is going to be centered around that north side like we initially speculated.
Target spotted.
Well, said he wins the race at the moment. Heroes on their way into safety inside of Fragment. Probably still a couple more buildings that are ready to be occupied by the late arrivals in Fragment. It is one of those points of interest that can really allow, you know, maybe 10, 15 teams at any given time. Depending on how things are set up, even teams can sort of hold multiple floors in the same building, so it's going to help out in keeping the stock look relatively healthy. And as you can see right there, we've still got everybody alive, all 60 players. Not a single player has gone down just yet.
It's kind of interesting.
But that is going to change fairly shortly.
Sorry, I was just going to point out a Lightning Unicorn's position over there coming from Geyser. You know, you'll remember they were, you know, they went to scan the beacon over at Ghost Town. Yeah, they, you know, they've left their home in Fragment here to kind of put themselves in a worse situation, basically. But who knows, maybe there's some KP that'll come their way sitting in the Geyser choke.
Possible. You have to move on from there, though, at some point. I think it'll be a pretty tough position to move out of. Obviously, there's a lot of open territory in front of them, which a lot of teams are going to be looking at. Oh, that's a good shot onto Pricey. He's very low, but he is at least going to get to the ground safety. And Team Burger with 3 alive and made it into Fragment. Hoping to do a little bit of a better job than their first round here of the day, which unfortunately kind of just blew up in their faces as they tried to make that rotation quite late through the air, and it felt like they didn't really leave themselves too many options. So I don't mind that they've gotten in a little bit earlier this time.
Having a look at the teams in very enviable positions in the middle of the map here. We've got Team Burger, who are, okay, not in the most solid position. Can they stick here for a while? They're forced to potentially. But we've got Kong over here at Ghost Town going right at it.
Oh, that's a good start as well from Dexter. Nice clean knock initially onto Boogie, who was pretty isolated and kind of still is, so I'm not sure what the communication was there. But it seems like he was either left high and dry or went a little bit too keen himself. Samyang Kung more than happy to take that free kill point and actually maybe look for a little bit more.
DF also managing to get rid of MGY
19 squads left.
Black there. Just down to Legacy now for Serenity. Try and move
Ilang circle na lang.
Yeah, so I'm not sure that this is going to be too recoverable.
Parang di niya pwede ma-recover, or ewan lang. Baka pwede pa. Recover.
Sorry, Legends, I should say. I'm looking at Legacy's name. We saw Legends get back up off of a position similar to this one, but it was certainly a lot earlier.
Pwede pa yan siguro.
So it's gonna be hard to recover that one. And outside, still kind of doing it tough at this point. 3 sets of blues, not really where you'd want to be. Most teams are starting to get to purples, and they're also pretty well outside of the zone. Long way to go. Wow, a lot of teams to go through as well, so it won't be easy. That's a mean zone as well.
Yeah, central pool there. I think we've seen something pretty similar to this already in Apex South so far this split. There was definitely one like this, similar to this, the Boogie Borders one. That was the one I think where we had Fussy just sort of walking on the top of the tracks and
Phantom
it
Gaming
seemed like no one was looking at him.
and Firebird.
Invisibility hacks and just like never stopped shooting his gun for about.
Kalapit lang talaga sila. Oh shit, oh
A bit
shit.
awkward for Tom Yum Kung, but Gaps will go down, and it's still looking relatively healthy, so they're all
Down.
good. Dexter again on the front foot of it. They're doing a really good job of clearing out their edge of the zone around Ghost Town. There's really not a whole lot going on over there actually anymore for Tom Yum
Sobrang
Kung
gamit
to
talaga
really
si
be
Bloodhound.
too worried about.
I mean, look, they've
Down
got,
south here where things get a bit busier.
Info.
they got 4 kills already, right?
Info gathering.
That's a pretty decent start to the game. Legacy did manage to spawn Pugie back in. Didn't get the banner for Jesco, of course. They're not playing, you know, no conduit, no lifeline, so the support class, therefore, only the one
Ang hilig
banner.
talaga rin gumamit ng ano, sniper.
Once on Dumpling that we were looking at earlier,
Phantom
they
Dumpling,
are,
ito talaga yung ginamit
looks
niya
like-
kanina. Sentinel.
Are they trying to take
Tsaka
this
ano,
fight?
Sentinel
I
tsaka
think
Volt.
so. They're going around the outside right now of War Monster Firebird. Jackie Chan is trying to get on top of the
Jackie
building,
Chan.
but they're taking
Jackie
shots
Chan,
here
yeah.
from the Sentinel of
Phantom
Tree
Gaming
Cleaner
Jackie
up on the hill. So once on Dumpling,
What
they're
the
for sure they want to take this fight
Jackie
because
Chan.
they're about to move out of zone and be in a really bad spot, but
Very
it's kind of hard when
original.
you're getting griefed
Jackie Chan.
by KPG.
Anat lang.
What's the Firebird? Oh, they're
Tapos
trying
push.
to find any possible way to move forward, but there just isn't really a way for them to do that when they've got a team right in front of
Nabangan
them.
nila. Wala na.
Kind of in a
Gatekeep sila.
damn do
Gatekeep
damn
sila.
if you don't
See?
type situation. It's like
Ba't kasi
you
hindi
either
ka
have to try to fight and probably die to the zone, or don't try to fight and probably die to the team that you're fighting. So Wonton Dumpling and War Monster Firebird both in an awful position here.
I mean, yeah, this is so
Patay sila
bad.
neto.
Once on Dumpling, oh, they
Patay
almost
sila.
make it all back into the zone there, actually. You've got Boring. He's literally just putting his shield up to block nades for Jackie Chan so he can get back on his feet. I don't know if they even want to res at this point, honestly, because the knockdown shield is doing work here, keeping them alive when you've got KPG and Bearclaw Gaming literally just pinging them out, being like, hey, we know there's
Tatlong squad yung
there you
na-eliminate.
go. Scan
Boogie
goes
Borders.
out. They understand they're doing
Mga
the res
Akuma.
now. So they might actually be able to get back up to a 2-man. Meanwhile, on the other side, Tom Young Kung have picked up even more kills. And not only that, they're moving into a fantastic spot in this final zone.
Yeah, they really are farming their way through at the moment, aren't they? Keep Going Gaming have got quite a bit to worry about. 2 teams actually still on the Lava Siphon side of this engagement. And they're going to have to go through, past, over, not sure.
Ayun, may nag-ub. May
It is
nag-ub.
Keep Going Gaming that have to try to deal with that. A quick look at Wonton Dumpling here, who have managed to get at least one more member back up. They've got 2 players, and they have got few
May beacon pa ba?
to make their way out to safety. They're going to go over KPG as well. So what could have potentially amounted to quite a big fight actually there for KPG.
Ewan ko lang kung may mobile beacon sila, parang wala ata. Wonton
Dumpling.
Dumpling.
Yeah, I mean, they don't
Parang
have a
wala nga.
Moby.
Wala silang Moby.
They are flying sort of
Wala
close
silang
to
Moby.
a respawn beacon, but the chances of them getting that off, I think, are
Pero
pretty
may
much nil,
Moby
so,
sa unahan.
most likely going to have to play out as a duo unless they sort of randomly come across
Pero parang hindi na
Moby
pwede.
box at some point.
Wala na. Na pwede yun.
Rough
Not
for
Team
them.
Burger. They're in the thick of things at the moment, aren't they? They're sitting inside
Lapit na
of
sila
this
sa circle.
caravan, and I'm not sure they're feeling too great about it. So let's see how they're feeling at the moment with a listening.
He's shot from behind.
With you.
Look,
Right
Pwede
here,
kung makakita sila Moby dyan, pwede pa.
Do that call stick. Back them.
Is there 2 teams under?
That call stick's one. Literally one. One shot.
What's the other guy? Can we drop one by? Handle.
Shoot. Bangs on. The call stick. Go back up.
I'm chilling under right now.
Yes, it's all you. We're close to Gotten.
Yeah, heard.
Yeah, it's the other card's staring at us.
Can I loot now?
No.
Just fucking, he's getting medicine pricey.
I did.
Card.
Yeah, heard. Hey, wait. Bat, 3
I need
cells.
cells.
Here, 2
So I
cells.
stand. I think it's the duo, right? You QV first,
Yeah.
didn't you?
Yeah, there's 2 duos in this game. We
should
gotta
just
kill
go-
them.
Yeah,
We gotta
yeah.
kill them and play for this ledge here.
Okay.
Can we start trying to work them?
I have no dog.
I have 54% on my banger.
I'm
Trying to
72%.
smack the top so we can fucking fuck with these guys. I need to heal again.
Fine.
I'm gonna scan them now. Look at my scan.
Yeah, it is a duo.
I'm gonna take an. Can we take an angle out here, maybe?
That's all you guys.
Yeah,
I'm on,
maybe.
I'm on blue.
Shock has to do it.
Kailangan lang tumawid.
I'm on the
Huwag
street.
muna.
They're just
I
sitting
know-
there.
Wait muna
no,
kayo.
no.
Gatekeep kayo niyan.
Nailed it.
We can't see them. They're like.
Scanner one.
they're-
Scanning it for you.
Oh,
See?
Dark, dark, dark.
good.
I think we should do suicide for this.
Yeah,
I've
we
only
do.
got one bat. Yeah.
we just
Drop
have to
the
end
mid
it.
kit.
I've only got one bat. I got a medi. I got a
Wait
medi.
muna kayo.
What do you guys think?
I'm gonna have quartz core on 5%.
Okay.
There's guys
Yeah.
dying out here, Joe. Yeah, I'm
I'm gonna
5% on my own.
the top left of their caravan and
Ah, wait,
swing
tapos
around
si Smoke.
left and get above them. Yeah.
Yeah, I'm gonna bang out.
Yeah, get ready.
I'm not
I'm
gonna
gonna bang out so
scan
the top team can't do anything. I'm bang outed.
Quartz core to the left side. Can we chuck a smoke here? I'm guessing both of them. Let's go.
If you
Get a nade in.
scanning. You should get active in this. I got 100 pump. 18.
Catching them.
Behind you.
Behind me.
Back in the lava. Flash.
I did.
Oh, shit.
He's
Oh,
inside. I died.
shit.
Cracked him, Pricey. Get the kill.
Oh shit.
God, nice. Can you raise? Raise.
Oh my god.
Crawling. Smoke ahead of us.
Kinaya
Shaki,
mo nila
I got
yun.
one res.
Yeah.
I'm gonna res way straight away.
Kinaya pa
Keep
nila yun.
calling,
Akala
keep
ko.
calling, keep
Akala ko
calling.
sila doon.
These guys here.
Team on you. Nice, boys.
Come down.
I'm coming
Sino
down.
nakapatay
Okay,
nun?
there.
On my ping. I fucking
APG?
cracked the core stick.
The shield price for your life.
I cracked the core stick on you.
Swinging you. Oh, you fucking killing them.
Well, Pricey fighting hard at the moment and keeping his team in the fight. Team Burger somehow are just holding on. Wonton Dumpling has been eliminated. They're inside of the top 3, and I think
Eliminated yung
they
Wonton
actually get a
Dumpling,
full res
putahin.
here. I don't think anyone's pushing them.
No, there's nades coming out, which
Oh, shit.
could spell trouble. Oh my god, a full
Oh my
kill
God.
knocks Pricey Sharky on 1 health after that. But oh my god, that
ng
was a good
grenade.
clutch to honestly even get into that position.
Survival Team Burger.
Wow, I mean, you know, just barely winning that
Still not
fight
dead.
in the midst
Ang
of
tignan
like
Team
a
Burger.
bang ult and then Wonton Dumpling the duo swing them. But luckily get caught in the
That's
crossfire
two.
for Team Burger. So now they survive, but unfortunately, yeah, it's as a duo. Tom Young Kung, they're holding that amazing position that we talked about before on the top of the hill, and then Keep Going Gaming, who are holding the Harvester Choke, our other team in the top 3.
Ano, dalawang duo? Isang trio?
Definitely still a salvageable
Ata?
situation for Team Burger. They're probably
isang-
against the
dalawang-
ropes.
dalawang
once
trio,
the zone
isang
starts
duo.
to push its way in, but if KPG and Tom Yong Kung for some reason end up coming to blows before that point, then Team Burger are still in with the shot, and either way making it.
Team Burger, magabang lang muna kayo dyan.
Hear how
Magabang muna kayo.
chaotic that was in
Dalawa lang
the
kayo, magabang
listening.
muna kayo. Pabayaan
Doesn't look
yan.
like they want to shy away from
Pabayaan
these
yan.
fights. You know, they're
Huwag
really
muna
trying to
kayo
get in
magkasali.
on top of KPG, which is taking
Ayun.
some of that pressure
Ganun down,
off.
tapos
Great beam
backstab
from
nyo.
Dexter.
Rotate
It's the
kayo.
car. And all of a sudden, the circumstances change quite substantially. KPG are really under the pump, and Team Burger are kind of hunting
Rotate,
for
Team
some
Burger, asan na
KP
yun?
of their own. They
Asan na
know
sila?
that
Ayun,
if
sa
the
baba,
worst
ayun,
case
sa
they can
baba.
get 1 or 2 kill points.
Yes!
That would be useful.
Yeah,
Shit,
they know
hindi
that
sila
what they're
sumali.
you know, essentially just playing for
Rotate
seconds
lang
here,
dito
right?
sa
So they
ano,
see that
sa
KPG
likod.
under pressure and they help
Damn it.
Tom Young
Dalawa
Kung
lang
to
sila.
take them down.
Wala.
Yep.
Tapos.
That is going to be an easy one for Tom Yum Kung in the
Kung
end.
nag-rotate sila dito sa kabila,
a 3-on-2,
dito,
but they had to do the dirty work onto
Pang may
KPG to
railway.
begin with as well. So overall, solid stuff from Tom Yum Kung. I mean, we were obviously highlighting how strong they were looking playing around Ghost Town, and yeah, that was a super solid game from them. Very, very good stuff.
Yeah, what a turnaround for them. I know they got knocked out about 13th in that first match. Elfish and exceptional. They
sana
had that
nag-rotate
position. They
sila,
played that,
backstab nila
that
yung-
God Rock there and, took the win for it.
Team
They just
Burger
had to
nag-rotate
wait, I
agad
guess,
yun.
for the flies to sort
Naglaban
of come
silang
into the
tatlo.
spider web.
Rotate yung Team Burger dito.
And yeah, exceptional from them. I do want to sort of touch on, though, Team Burger absolutely frying, collecting, a couple of souls along the
Okay
way
lang.
there.
At
They
least may
took out,
kills
I
sila.
believe it was AGL under the bridge. Some excellent calls out by the team, and then eliminating the team in, I think it was the broken terrain with the reset on the gold knock. I was just on the edge of my seat that whole time. It was very close for them. You can't really do too much with the nades coming in from, the teams just waiting patiently in zone. But Elfish, that was just exceptional.
Yeah, solid stuff. I mean, a great game actually.
Sayang.
Like, the way that played out was really
Hasta
fun.
yung
Talking
wonton
about it was a little bit
dumpling.
slower to begin with, right? A lot of teams felt like they were in a position where they could play the zone, and eventually, as it started to pull its way in, it just became
Wonton
more and more
dumpling.
chaotic. And it was a pleasure to watch that from Team Burger's perspective. Very nice push and pull from them. I was, almost thinking that they were going to be able to get all three back up, but yeah, obviously the nade coming through from KPG sort of denied that possibility, but either way,
Dito sana yun sila.
still a very solid
Ito.
start.
Yeah, kind of hard on that. I guess
Rotate.
that slope, the little slant there. Any nades can sort of
Focus
roll
yung
in.
tatlo.
And Tom Young,
Focus silang
like we
tatlo
said,
dito.
just had a bit of a tough start in the
Okay, PG.
first game, just to really turn it around and I guess collect a couple of kills along the way there and solidify the win. This is something that they do need. Sitting in that bracket, I guess, where we want to see them sort of hit the top 8. No one's really going to take too much over Legends Gaming or Wonton
Corner
Dumpling
talaga
at the
sila.
present time. But
Dalawa lang sila eh.
teams like Tom Young Kung do really need to perform well, and they did that exactly in that match. And let's take a look. It's 13 kills overall. Elfish, absolutely exceptional from them.
Oh, 13 kills.
Very big game. You got to give
Yung
them some
Kung.
credit for it. They didn't do
Burger
it
is
easily,
9.
that's for sure. They were fighting
Ay,
their
asan
way
yun? Wonton
pretty much
Dumplings
around the
2.
map, and from the middle
2
stages
kills,
of that,
1,121 damage.
a worthwhile one when you can do that
Wow,
and do it successfully and get 13 kills on your way. Then you're
damage.
more than happy with
13
how
kills.
things played out there. Obviously, the other big winner out of that round was, of course, Team Burger. Big game from them as well with a 9-kill second place. I guess we kind of want to keep a bit of an eye on Wonton Dumpling. They keep their scoreboard ticking over. And
So,
speaking
ito
of, I
yung
think that'll
stats
be
nila
enough to
sa
keep them
World's Edge map.
top,
World's
not quite
Edge.
number 1. 28 points now for Tom Yum Kung. So just over
Overall,
halfway point. So is Wonton
second
Dumpling.
place yung
And
Wonton
everyone else
Dumpling.
really at this point is playing
9
catch up.
kills.
Like I was saying though, it
26
does feel like
points
we've probably
total.
still got at least another 2 games here before we get to a point where anyone will realistically be on match point. So it's still a bit of a building platform at the moment.
Exactly right. We still got a bit of time there, and unfortunately, another tough game for the Boogie Boarders there as well. Elfish. I know they had quite a nice rotate in match 2, making it to the Monument building quite early, and then they had a bit of a devastating zone pull, out into the middle. They had to, I believe, cross the likes of Dreamfire, which were just sort of playing out the side there. So unfortunately, I just feel like they couldn't make it just then. But you know what? Hopefully, they can do something when we head over to the Storm Point map. But again, Tom Young Kung Burger sitting at 4th and 5th in the overall standings. Huge games from both of them. They're definitely here to solidify themselves
Game
in
3.
those top sorts of spots. Even
So, 6
Dreamfire
games to
in
guys,
that
6
game,
games.
sort of, I think having about 6 KP overall in 6th
Ano yung kasunod? Anong
place
map?
even, are still great contenders.
World's
And again,
Edge yung
with
kanina.
MDY White too, sitting at 7th, had
Ay,
an
Kings
exceptional
Canyon
game.
ba?
So, these teams that are sort of sitting in that top hand bracket know
Parang wala
exactly
ata.
what is needed from them today.
Wala atang Kings Canyon
Yeah, I mean,
dito
it's
sa
interesting
ano.
actually that you should mention MDY White, because as we are moving on to Storm Point, they are one of the teams that tends
Storm
to perform a little bit
Point,
better on that
World's
map.
Edge.
As far as the lobby itself is concerned,
Kings
they're the
Canyon.
3rd highest average placement, or 3rd lowest average placement, depending on which argument, which way you want to say it. But 3rd best average placement. Let's just go with that for that map. So a team that we haven't really had much to say about so far. They're on World's Edge, but moving into maybe a little bit more of a comfort map, that's where we can see them hopefully accelerate and get back into the discussion.
Yeah, exactly right. They are a very strong team. Our other strong teams are, of course, Wonton Dumpling and Legends Gaming. They do extremely well on Storm Point as well. We find Wonton Dumpling, usually edge hunters, they will sort of sit around that side of the zone and sort of collect the kill points along the way. And, we've seen Legends Gaming as well. They tend to
Wonton
win on
Dumplings
Storm Point
is
as well.
pang long
So we're
range yung
in for
tirada nila.
some really exceptional
Damage.
matches. We're going to take ourselves another little short break, and we'll see
Poke
you in
lang
a
ng
moment.
poke. Kaya sila may Sentinel. May mahilig sila gumamit ng, or isa sa kanila mahilig gumamit ng Sniper, Sentinel. To incur damage or perhaps kills. Knockdowns. Sila yung taga sila parang finisher.
You don't need a peek.
Serenity.
I'm
We're gonna late, sorry.
I'm all thinking.
We can play, use the fucking key.
On the wall. 6 kills.
Front, in front.
50 flash from
What's
main.
one dead? Pick the wall, pick the wall, pick the fucking wall.
On the
He's on
100.
crack.
I'm pushing. That's my mate.
Dead.
That's
Nice.
Fucking god.
Tiga tim ya. Angle.
Place mo iba nih. Ato na tayo. It's okay, place mo. Yo, jangan crack. Tuh dia. What's up?
Help.
I reload. I turun. Nice. Last one, Ding.
Nice.
Ding. 1 on. 31. Yes. Let's go.
Let's go.射了，够我们了。广告牌上有，左边还有个。打倒。闪人头顶。哪个链？爆土了。头顶，这。爬了，我能架，你给我倒可以吗？
没倒。倒2个了，我觉得可以打了。
可以，接打。我打了这个。
最后一个。
Nice. One to dumpling. This is week 2 guys. Week 2 match 5. Previous place nila. Eto ngayon to. Well, parang ngayon ba to? Week 2? Previous game nila. Eto ngayon to. Tamyam Kung.
Champions! Dark Zero is going to be your champions of the Apex Legends Global Series!
Welcome back, everyone. We are here for the regional finals of Apex South, where a lot is on the line for our 20 teams tonight. Match 2 was taken out by Ziki, Asias and Dexters, but you might know them as Tom Young Kung. And as this is the match point
Storm
format,
Point,
we are going to
so
be
tatlong worlds are apat na world's edge, dalawang Storm Point.
Match we just seen match 1-2 on World's Edge, Wonton Dumpling for the first, and of course Tom Young Kung they're taking out the second. But as we switch things up over to Storm Point, Elfish, why don't you take us through where some of our teams will be landing?
Yeah, big ones obviously. You know, I'm a big fan of Dreamfire, the Mill. I think a great spot to be dropping still, so they'll be hoping to kind of bounce back. They had a little bit of a slower start when it came to the first map of World's Edge, and hopefully moving on to map 2 will be a little bit of a better one for them. I think the thing to sort of keep an eye on coming into this map of Storm Point is that there is a potential hot drop contest on the cards, and that is going to be Akuma and War Monster Firebird. When we do have a look at Checkpoint, you'll see that as Dreamfire at the Mill, like we said. Always going to be a pretty important drop location. Legends Gaming as well, fairly central over towards Sito Station. So these are the teams that are going to be feeling happy and comfortable about going into Storm Point. And in particular, I'd say actually Legends is one of those teams again that, you know, they show an incredible level of consistency. Not only are they the strongest performer, generally speaking, when it comes to World's Edge, but top 2 when it comes to Storm Point. So no real surprise that they will be a big team to watch coming into this map as well.
Yeah, they can kind of do it all, can't they? And, you know, we as we sort of swap over to the map, you know, I think last week we would have seen a couple of, you know, pulls to Devastated Coast. You know, we've seen a couple of down Beast Rings as well, Elfish. I am still very hopeful that there's going to be that zone that pulls in between Zeus Station and Lightning Rod. It's right, they see that tiny little island there, and there's a massive zip going over to Zeus Station's Elfish, and a zone can pull there, and I am hoping so. Whoever sort of gets that little spot on that island generally wins the match. You know, I know the teams are probably not going to want that, but, you know, us at home want to see something as exciting as that, you know, because rotations can matter here. But let's get ourselves into match 3. Take it away. This is Storm Point.
This is Storm Point, and it might be one of the only 2 times we get to see it. We'll have to find out. Obviously, we'll just keep going if we don't get to a winner after 6 games, and if after 6 games we are at that point, we'll go back over to Storm Point. But there is a potential for 4 games of World's Edge and then only the 2 of Storm Point. So those Storm Point teams seems to favor this map a little bit, are really going to be looking at this one as a very big point scoring opportunity. And we do indeed get that contest. It is Akuma that are doing well to start things off. War Monster Firebird already losing 1.
Yeah, talking about scoring points, they're looking to pick up a couple right here with Akuma. And they've got War Monster Firebird on the run. They will finish off Shark. And Azu is running for it. The remaining two members of War Monster Firebird, yeah, they've booked it. They're just looting those buildings down the bottom of Checkpoint. And I think they will be continuing on their merry way. Will Akuma let them? I think so. By the looks of it, they're happy to just loot the rest of Checkpoint, get it to themselves. You know, they've got an Evo Harvester that's actually pretty accessible for them, so they're all ready on blues.
Oh, 95% Bangalore here for Storm Point. So
who's the one? Who's the one?
That's the big question, isn't it? We've got one team without, which was not the case on World's Edge.
AGL. Ooh, thick boys. Thick boy alert. We've got Bloodhound, Gibraltar, and Caustic for AGL.
That is an interesting one.
Well, I mean, AGL, they landed down Beast, right? Which means they've got a Trident. As you can see, they're currently in it. They're riding it over the top of the down Beast, Fast and the Furious style, right now.
Extra cover.
And yeah, I mean, not only do they get the ring, which is obviously a big deal, but I think that is one of the reasons why you picked Gibraltar on Stormpoint, literally just for those bubble rotates. I can't remember who was there. Who was driving the car when we had that mill circle last week?
I can't remember who that
Maybe
was.
that was AGL, yeah, and they made the rotate like literally into the middle of the mill with the bubble car. That was great. But yeah, so that's one of the reasons why they're picking the Gibraltar. But so yeah, that's amazing. Now they get the spot on top of down Beast, and they can fortify it, right? They've got the bubble to play. I'm going to be keeping my eye on which perks they get, because we haven't seen a lot of Gibbies make it to purple armor and get that level 3 perk choice yet. But yeah, teams already just throwing themselves at the Beast, heading towards that direction.
Yeah, I mean, it's a pretty standard down Beast circle, isn't it, right? You see that second zone pull. It really starts to make you think. Straight from Flame. First couple of shots looked really good. Then he started to get peppered back in response, so that didn't help his aim. But either way, Legends in for this one. Easy Flash is having a bit of a look. I don't know whether or not
they got the res off.
His opponent is really aware of that push, that flank coming through, but Legends, yeah, they recognize their window has closed, and so going to reset.
And he's back to full health. Yep, there we go. As you say, the window is closed there. MTY Black will continue making their way towards down Beast. Again, Legends Gaming, not too far from where the zone is, but they don't get a ring console. And yet, they're still sitting towards the top of the leaderboard.
They're one of those teams that I think will be happy enough to play the edge and just fight their way in, back themselves in those engagements, because they're generally pretty good at winning them. Don't necessarily need to be crashing for a position in the zone. They're on the move at the moment though, so we'll keep an eye on that. But speaking of, I'm gonna rock up nearby Serenity, so Serenity will actually be a little careful about that. Those are the shots that are coming through. That's a great 1-2-3. Legacy is the knock onto War Monster Firebird, but Legends just counting down, and I think it was Bugi that got knocked in that meanwhile. No proper commitment though from Legends Gaming as the Util comes down, the ultimates. Oh! Never mind, don't need it. Bugi finished off, and that's it. That's Legends Gaming. They just 1-2-3'd him.
Nice way to do it. They head back now. Obviously, there's a chance that they can go back for the banner. Still within the circle. Makes it a lot easier to do. But some time to make that happen. But we'll see. Keep an eye on that one. Declaw Gaming. These houses out the front of Down Beast. Super premium in this circle, I would say, Elfish, because the circle is not going over the back of the Down Beast, so we're not going to get one of those circles we saw last time where, you know, Dreamfire will hold the back platform, which can be a very good place to be. Now it's more the inside, on top of the Beast. Akuma's inside at the moment. AGL, as we mentioned, have driven on top, and then, of course, these houses out the front, especially if you're running, you know, Watson outside. Have one of those with a Watson at the moment. They're called Gaming with the core stick helps, and then yeah, pretty much every other team. If you don't have a Watson, essentially, I think every single team who doesn't have a core stick is running a Watson. Okay, not Tom Young Kung. They don't have a controller character. And not SWQ. They don't have a controller character because they're running Fuse. That is a Bangalore Bloodhound Fuse composition for our Launchpad team.
Who's for SWQ? Crazy Kong might be a fairly relevant name, I guess. Doing something crazy, maybe. Where's Yuling? What's he up to? He's inside the zone. He's coming. He's not too far away. Don't you worry. This will be a little bit of a slower approach for SWQ. They are the team that's pretty much the furthest away from the zone. Still there at the command center, as you can see on the top right of the mini-map. Once again, another pull right over the down beast, so you don't really get any special prizes for guessing where this one goes. I feel like on Storm Point, this is probably the most predictable zone.
Yeah, I think the closer it gets to sort of the edge of the sea, the more predictable it gets. So this is probably close enough that it is fairly predictable. I would agree with you there. And, you know, surface touching, one of those key indicators. Almost a Firebird. Not finished off completely, but yet another kill. Serenity, by the way, just managed to grab that banner, and they have just respawned down in Barometer. Congrats to them. Welcome back, Bugi.
Yeah, they've got a bit of a ways to go now as well, don't they? But hey, I tell you what, it's better to be there with 3 than maybe already knocked out. Looting to be done on the way through as well should set them up nicely for what will ultimately have to be an edge-based style this game. Shots off here from MZYY. It doesn't look like they want to hide too far away from this fight. I mean, Monster Firebird have already got control of that building, but maybe MZYY want to try their hand at taking it away.
I mean, they're rocking up from Stormcatcher, right? It's a fairly far rotate for them. So they've taken their time and got up to purples on the way. You can see not even popping the spiders above them. Might be a little bit too greedy, and you know, it's not necessarily going to get them to... Well, it's definitely not going to get them to red, so... that makes sense. We've got War Monster Firebird. Azu just like, oh, I'm going to get out of here. Grabs that trident.
Dark start, good one for Boogie Borders. They've been having a really tough day so far. Just the 2 points at the moment. And it doesn't look like it's going to be getting any better. Tom Yum Kung, a little bit of a messy spray to start things off there from Asia, but he might have more than enough to finish things off right here, and that is Boogie Borders gone. Run and dusted, and again,
Game 3.
Bad result for them.
Game 3.
Now 3 games in, I think is really going to start to weigh heavily on the mindset and be quite problematic for the mental strength going into the rest of this lobby.
Yeah, I mean, Boogie Borders, like, a lot of things would have to go wrong for them not to qualify for LAN, but as you say, that is not a good start. They want to be able to lock it in.
Pwede pa siguro yung
you know,
bad siya,
like, honestly,
or...
one good game probably, you know, secures them LAN. That's all they need, but they definitely have not had that yet. Tom Young Kung, they're still moving in the zone.
Hindi na binalikan.
KPG was sort of involved in that fight as well.
Gatekeep sila dyan.
Down to a duo. Potential to...
Possibly
for Tom Young Kung coming out of the zone, but they're not... they're going to prioritize themselves rather than the KP or any chaotic options just for now.
Kaya nila yung i-revive yung isang teammate nila. Kaya nila i-revive yun, pero kaso nga lang, i-gatekeep sila netong itong group na to. So,
too bad for themselves.
Tam yung kung yung ano.
Outside of the zone, having to move in.
Nasa outside zone.
On top of SWQ in a moment.
I'm not gonna lie, they took their time. That was actually quite a long looting session there from Tom Young Kung, and now they're walking in on zone close, taking zone damage, and it's going to be really tough for them to get past SWQ, who have just scanned them and worked out there.
Asan na yung ano, wonton dumplings?
Pricey and Co, who don't exactly know where this ring is going, but they've taken control of Checkpoint. But yeah, here's that fight coming out from SWQ, and frankly, this was just a little bit of greed coming out from Tom Young Kung that I think is going to see the end of it.
Yeah,
Patay
SWQ, I
Tom
mean,
Yong Kung.
they've lost one player, but it's looking okay.
Patay ang
for
Tom
them.
Yong Kung.
Donuts just not shying away from the fight at all. And that kind of tells you that the confidence was there, that the fight was going to be won.
Innate keep sila.
Indeed it was. Tom Yum Kung.
Hindi sila pinatawid, gag.
Exit after a stellar last game.
Oh, shit.
To add too much to the total.
That was kind of a me effort, I'm not gonna lie. Like that's I am such a loot goblin that I will absolutely stay in the
was
zone, grab,
eliminated.
like, every single attachment that's there, but you cannot afford to do that in a lobby like this.
It's different when you're playing in your
Heal.
flat pubs, isn't it, mate?
Oh, shots fired.
Yeah, alright, well, Heroes happy enough with that result. They don't continue to chase. You slow down a little bit. There's only a couple of teams still having to move. Burger coming in from checkpoint will be an interesting one, because Serenity's also just arriving around near checkpoint and they're going to have to move their way in as well. So that'll be a 3-team pitched battle against KPG or the connector to down Beast. It's on Dumpling. Once again, 2x Sentinel for Big God.
Let me guess. Oh, may Sentinel na naman. Konton Dumpling. Ang poke talaga tong sa kanila.
And I guess on a map like this, especially with a zone like
Pasok
this,
lang sa circle. And then, pag may kalaban, papoke lang nila ng sniper nila.
4 evacs?
Which is not bad.
Is it someone's birthday? That's a lot of balloons.
Shit.
They lost all their shields and they might lose all their players in the as well, though Pete God's been able to get that battle off and can pop a Beast of the Hunt to try to fight for survival. Not really much of a push.
Nasa loob.
To regroup a little bit with Jackie Chan. Not going to be an option now, though, is the last man standing. Wonton Dumpling, this does look like it might be their first game where they miss out tonight. No doubt about it. MTY around the corner. There goes Pete God. That was too easy.
Gugu's good, but he's not that good. MDY White, they finish off their fight down the bottom. You got XNY pulling up on them though. Sure, YC will be coming in with the scam pretty soon, and then JR, the man we were talking about before, very dangerous. He's on the bang.
Corner.
Got the lock here. That's the last one gone. JR can't even make it there in time. XD is gonna finish it with the Mastiff.
Alright, Legends Gaming. Currently sitting on 14 points. Generally a pretty good Storm Point team. They're being made to work for this game right now by Team Burger, who are essentially gatekeeping them. It is definitely Team Burger that are on the front foot here. They have the positional advantage, and Legends Gaming have to fight their way into Team Burger, though it has to be said,
oh
doing
shit,
pretty well about it.
Shit.
Legends Gaming, I think they might win this fight, although the initial knock is going to go back in the opposite direction. They held health advantage for a moment, but now they have the player disadvantage, and Team Burger push them back.
And this is such a crazy fight here. You got 3 teams in the middle of all of this. Serenity are a duo. Team Burger have safely navigated it though, and now with the 3 left up and 20 seconds left, they should be able to finish off Serenity, unless Boogie goes crazy with this wing man, but he can only get one down in the end.
4 or 5 death boxes in one spot, so a bit of a dangerous area of the map to be in, unless your name is Team Burger, because there is
Burger na naman.
that is headed in their direction. SWQ have heard those shots.
Dominante
There'll
sa
be a team coming in from checkpoint,
sa gameplay na to.
they didn't want to go and do any exploring of their own.
Last two is Wonton Dumpling.
That zone is pushing at their back as they move, so this will be
or no.
quite an ill
First one is Wonton Dumpling, second
needs to get a shot with this Kraber to open things up for them. This is the first one, so it starts to get a bit awkward. SWQ causing some real problems on this way in, but that smoke was a good one from Team Burger, allows a little bit more progression. You're going to have to leave Sharky for dead, and I'm not even sure that the rest are going to make their way through. SWQ had such an advantage.
Oh shit.
Dueling going low.
Oh shit. Patay itong dalawa.
They had their time in the sun, but it didn't last for very long. As soon as they left checkpoint, they were done.
No, I mean, Wei, he had time to pop a medkit when they were resetting there, and he just didn't do it early enough. Had to walk out of the zone with 10 health and gave himself no options. That's crazy that we've seen 2 such, you know, easily fixable loot issues cause some of these big teams and very, you know, amazing teams in Apex South problems here in this game.
Outside was eliminated.
Defensive bombardment. Getting a knock or a kill in there. Empire also just getting eliminated on the back end. Yuma feeling pretty healthy in their position.
Asan yung Timburger? Eliminated ba yun?
X and Y have some fighting to do to get off of this beach. It's never a fun place to be.
Just take it, then heal.
Trying to work from. Oh. Actually, not with all those Bangalore ultimates tossed around the place, but the Rolling Thunder not going to cause too many problems beyond just wasting a little bit of time, popping a couple more back. Push out though from Lahim of Heroes is a big problem indeed, and JR you could see just got stuck, or was
Hindi na malayang pinush sila sa gilid.
One of the two, they both got stuck in a huge crossfire. Nothing to be done.
I think that was the
easy cleanup.
It might have been the second Bangalore ult that really came to just put the nail in the coffin there for XNY, and XD's managed to get out. He's got a Kraber, so he's trying to scare people away from that and show some presence here, but obviously, you know, as the only one left in the squad and with a couple of seconds left to make his next move, it's not looking good now for XNY. You know, we touched on Akuma before. They managed to take out Dreamfire. Dreamfire essentially in Godspot in one of those, or, you know, at least in one of the buildings, I should say. Maybe not Godspot, but like obviously a very strong position in this next zone. Akuma able to take that away from them. That is a big deal and a big win for them.
Nakanak siya. Nakanak.
Hasn't exactly been popping off so far today. Nothing yet to come.
Kraber in play.
On the floor.
Kraber in play.
Could be reservoir for Bad Gaming. AGL up on top of Down Beast still.
Nakapasok pa siya.
What's left of Down Beast.
Pero wala, hindi na magsusurvive.
Some harassment onto Bible of KPG, but they themselves need to be a little bit careful of Akuma, who one might argue are in one of the best positions in the zone right now. Heroes are looking solid. Either 8, long range, distance.
Long range.
Works well, love it. Heroes are pretty healthy as well.
EVA 8, long range.
A few solid looking teams going into this
May
final
buff na yung
zone.
EVA 8 ngayon.
5 remaining.
So parang bilis ng firing
AGL's
rate.
got 3 up on top of Down Beast. Akuma in the tri building.
Nice positioning to sa ano, AGL.
And MDY Black in the other building are the 3 teams that are fully
squads pa.
that are fully healthy. And then you've got Bear Claw Gaming down to just a duo.
Come on, XX, don't do this to me. Our Gibraltar is still on blue armor. He's 381 Evo off the next. They don't have a lot of ammo. So I guess that's why they haven't been doing that much poking.
Circle.
As you can
5
see,
teams.
there's just a couple of clips in, you know, barely any attachments. They've literally just sat up the top of Down Beast for pretty much the entire game. And now they have to make a move. They'll take an isolated fight here with the bubble.
Bahala na this! They set that crossbar angle up quite nicely, so AGL, they walk straight into it. They're going to go down without a fight. AGL, have they gotten and bit off a little more than they can chew? It certainly seems to be that way. Last man standing, won't salvage it. And Bear Claw Gaming win the 2-on-3.
Isang AGL was eliminated.
Positioning from Heck.
Yung bumaba, yun yung na-eliminate. Nasa taas kanina.
Huge crossfire for Bear Claw Gaming that just tore AGL to shreds.
Sila yung bumaba kasi kailangan nilang patayin yun.
Nades as well. As soon as
they walked out of that bubble, essentially they got hit with a barrage of nades. Well-timed
nades there from BCG, obviously waiting for that push. But damn, man, my quest for Gibraltar stats continues, apparently.
Yep. Maybe you're the problem. Either way, Bear Claw Gaming, they have got problems right now because it is just Heck who's alive. So, look, I mean, you got to be happy with what you've been able to achieve there. They've gotten themselves a little more placement points. They've got some more kill points. They're going for the res behind that smoke, and
he gets it.
They've got it. So maybe there's still another chapter yet untold here for Bear Claw Gaming. The unlikely
shit.
Yeah, actually, Heroes. They went for the armor swap just so they could juggle, you know, a little bit of health there and you know,
damage.
They're literally like looking for shield cells and stuff right now. Bear Claw Gaming definitely in shambles here, but they have a spot down the bottom. We'll see how many teams recognize that. You can see the other teams just shove towards the northern side here. Or the western side here. Heroes are now going up against Akuma and MDY Black getting caught in the crossfire.
Nobody can see anything. I've got to be honest with you. Actually, Bear Claw Gaming on the outside of this, they're not a bad outside chance. Akuma trying to climb onto the roof will start to take that fight. It is a massive cluster of fun. Let's just go with that. I could think of a much worse word to use here on the broadcast, but I actually think Bear Claw Gaming might be in it to win it because they are now in a position on top of the building where they have the advantage. It's 2-on-1. They get the win. Can you believe it? Out of nowhere.
2v1, nice.
Amazing!
2v1.
Bearclaw Gaming. They win a 2v3 against AGL.
Bearclaw Gaming.
They're so scared they don't even, they wait to get the res off on Belkun. And then after that, they come out on top against 3 full trios. Lace, what do you make of that?
Imagine just sitting there and having a nice cup of tea and then seeing a gigantic Gibraltar bubble just drop down on you. You know, you would kind of shake your boots there, but they held it strong. They kept it together, and I think it was Heck there that absolutely annihilated everyone just popping out of that corner, and then to have this dynamic duo take it out.
Kasi kailangan talaga nilang gawin yun.
It's just exceptional. The skill is just amazing coming out of that team. You don't always need a trio in this game. You just need a little bit of passion between 2 players, and that is exactly what they did in that game. You know, it was just awesome to see. You know, I think another thing I wanted to touch on was another huge game there from Team Burger. You know, they were sort of cleaning up what was like left out of checkpoints. SW here just absolutely popping off. They sort of waited for Team Burger there coming out of zone, so it was a little bit of a tough rotate here for Team Burger as they patiently waited and collected these kills. You know, I don't know if there was too much that they could have done with the zone pool when everyone's sort of already, you know, rotated in, they've set themselves up. You know, it was tough for Team Burger, but SWQ again getting knocked out of there as everybody is just sitting. I also wanted to have a look at Wonton Dumpling having that difficult rotate passing. What I'm going to call, Genome, the apex definition of the movie Up. Like, what was with all those balloons that they had deployed there just on the outside of Beast?
Yeah. Who's going on a snipe hunt? I guess. Well, I mean, we saw who was it? Strafing Flame doing pretty well with the Sentinel before, so maybe it's him. But yeah, that was a little bit of a fun interlude in the game.
We've learned a new strat.
Yeah, it was a fun finish as well, though. With
Bearclaw Gaming, 8 kills, 1,866.
Rudney not able to contribute a lot.
Akuma, 6 kills.
But to convert from that
2.4k
position,
damage.
incredible, honestly, from Bearclaw Gaming.
Wonton, asan na yun? Wonton Gaming, Wonton.
Of course, with 6 and 7 kills and
0 kills.
Points. Very well
532 damage.
Dreamfire, usually so good at playing those down B zones. Because they got shoved out by Akuma and then lost it. It's actually been a rough one for them, and you know, they certainly would have hoped for more points out of that X and Y. With 6th place and 9 kills, they're going to be picking themselves up quite a few points and moving up into 6th place now. Will that be enough for them? I'm not sure, but you know, certainly they're sticking with the rest of these teams here as you look at the top of the scoreboard. Very competitive lobby today.
Yeah, so we can see there's just Bearclaw Gaming, you know, after an exceptional game as well, just sort of creeping their way up to 2nd position, and that's all it can take in that sense. Again, Tong Young Kung, you know, they sort of got, I think, knocked out a little bit earlier there, but, you know, collecting all those kill points can sort of solidify you in that top spot. Again, with Team Burger, you know, pulling out some huge kill points. They're collecting, you know, all that sort of skirts. But again, you know, I said it was a little bit of a tough rotate for them to go in. And again, Wonton Dumpling, you know, they had, I guess, a tough rotate there from Mill. Being one of the later teams into down B's Genome, you can definitely see that it is difficult to get in. You know, you've got teams on the height of Beast. Those buildings are already sort of captured by caustics. So the teams that are making that rotate late are generally, you know, taken out for that, but, you know, they can make it up with kills, I guess. Yeah,
definitely a couple of teams going that route and just trying to pick up the KP. Yeah, you know, Team Burger sitting in, what was it, 6th, I think. You know, they were 5th coming into today with 80 split points overall. That kind of performance will definitely see them through to LAN. You know, other teams, Dreamfire, you know, probably need to pick it up a little bit, but again, like a middle of the pack performance for a couple of these teams will be enough.
Yeah, being huge from AGL as well, sitting there about 9th at 75. You know, we want to get them over that little cusp of the 8 teams. So they're performing, and that's exactly what they need to do in this match point. But we're going to take ourselves another little short break, so you guys get yourself some snacks and shake off those, I guess, that energy, because we're going to bring you more energy when you get back. See you soon.
哎，不是，
往前跳，往前跳，我你们，往前跳。
准备，走，跟你们。你面前有个，你面前斜坡。
弹着头。
倒一个，慢慢打。
倒两个。
牛逼。左边。
可以往前贴吗？
他跟你，我看不到。
倒一个。
快打！我操，牛逼！什么都没干，我操！我2把枪里面子弹了，我操！我2。我还想麻烦。来，等，
有他，救命！ตัวเดียวนึงสองหนึ่งคือตัวมาดิ
Let's fucking go, dude！ 准备打。我能到，他们上来了。斜坡。咪个30，来，打我，跟你。慢点。我到，什么位置？点3。Nice。
3、2、1，到了。我被冲，他们的门。
能回去吗？
不用，别
哎你妈个逼的，给我推起来了！兄弟，你俩二打。
They're gonna in.
Popping cells.
They're renting.
Surprise.
Hello and welcome back, everybody. Game number 3, nothing short of incredible, as Bearclaw Gaming playing that game mostly as a duo. They managed to fight off what I'm going to say an Australian drop bear team, which is AGL jumping down, that UV bubble and then going up against, I think it was 2 full teams to take that win. Absolutely insane and skillful plays from them, Gino.
That was crazy. They managed to fight so well there. I mean, I guess the Gibby bubble almost provided a little bit of a, an easier way to get your nades in, because obviously the nades stop at the edge of the bubble. So as soon as they walked out, I think, they just walked straight into this barrage, and that really started the fight off for them. So yeah, look, good one there for Bearclaw Gaming. You don't often see that a duo winning when there's multiple trios alive and ready to go.
Exactly right. They're sitting about 16th on the overall leaderboard as well, at 61 points. So if they could do that as a duo, imagine if they, keep this up as a trio. They could potentially even have that chance to sort of jump up that bracket. But, only time will tell in that sense. Obviously, we've got about 7 places to fill here. Wonton Dumpling, Legends Gaming, have kind of solidified the spots. They're still going to perform the way we know they can. They're huge, heavy-hitting teams. We have Tom Young Kung sitting quite high on today's leaderboard. They're sitting about 4th in the overall standings. These teams are they're about 3 points difference if we have a look at the overall standings, Genome. So it's so close that it could potentially shuffle quite a bit on this leaderboard.
Yeah, definitely the middle of the leaderboard is quite close. Where you're sitting down with Bearclaw Gaming with 61 points, it is almost impossible for them to win with anything but first, right? They'd have to have, MDY, White, Serenity, Dreamfire, Team Burger, all of these teams would basically have to get, 20th, 19th, 18th in the lobby to sort of make that happen, right? That's when we say, mathematically possible, but realistically probably not going to happen unless they can grab a couple more of those dubs and win the match point day all up. And someone who is, certainly looking okay for that, but as you can see has been on a downward slide since that first game is Wonton Dumpling.
Yeah, exactly right. Now, I guess we'll touch on match point as well. So if you're just joining us halfway here, we have match point format, which is first team to 50 points, and then claiming a win after that can take a one-way ticket to LAN. So even though, we have our brackets here, it's still going to be, anybody can take that. Obviously, we're seeing some heavy hitting teams, not overly shining, but it still is doable. It is still claimable for these teams in match point. This means we might not even know how many games we're going to play today. We haven't got anyone in match point yet. Obviously, that was just game number 3, Genome.
Yeah.
We're sort of it's a little. I wouldn't say it's equal, but it is going. I feel like it's going to be a long one.
Yeah, it's definitely shaping up to be that. As you say, no one's there at match point yet, which means we need at least another 2 games to finish this one off.
Yeah, exactly right. We've seen APAC North do it in 4 games, but that's fine. We're going to take ourselves into match number 4. This is the next game on Storm Point. Let's take it away.
Yeah, still a bit of ways to go. It still feels like early days. Have to wait and see how things shape up in this game. Look, it is possible. It is possible that someone gets there off of this game, but it would have to be a pretty damn big game. So, I guess hold our thoughts back for the moment. Again, things to touch on at the start of this is going to be that contest over checkpoint. I can already see that is occurring. War Monster Firebird and Akuma both keen to take that fight to one another again.
I think maybe a bit of a difference this time. We got War Monster Firebird. All 3 of them is are sitting in the one building, whereas we've got Akuma. They've split to get a bunch of the bins, maybe to give themselves, more loot, maybe a higher chance at a weapon and some options over there. But now they'll start collapsing on War Monster Firebird, who is sitting in the building, and they do get the first knock.
Oh, Akuma receive one back. It's Killerpulse down. Yukoi quite low as well, but Crusader, this Peacekeeper is looking pretty threatening. He's trying to be patient with his shots, knows that everything really matters at this point, and that's a good one. All wants the Firebird. Will go down again.
Firebird!
So,
Bye!
twice in a row, essentially win
But wait to the lobby.
Checkpoint.
Gagawa nyo?
Yep, that's 2 from 2. I mean, sure, they only got the 1 kill the first time, but, if the other team gets completely routed, running out of it, yeah, I think you have to count that one to them, right? So 2-0. Of course, both teams will be happy that they'll head back to World's Edge next, where they have safety in their drop spots and where no one is currently contesting. I mean, you do see that less, right? When you play regional finals, teams are a little more wary of going for the contest because there's so much at stake, and it can be quite risky to take those early fights.
Burger have been quietly plugging away. 35 points on the board so far today, so not doing too badly. But with that in mind, if they keep up that pace, then they're only just going to hit match point after the 6th game, which might be a little bit off the pace and potentially starts to put you in danger of some other team just picking up a win in game 5, game 6, something like that. They really want to have the best possible crack at it. They're going to have to go a little faster. So is Legends Gaming. Well, one of the favorites going into today, perhaps the favorite going into today. But despite one pretty good game, it's it's been relatively slow going actually.
Yeah, not a dominating performance so far from them, but it's definitely not a dominating performance from Boogie Boarders, who's sitting in 20th spot. That would mean 0 split points here for the overall standings. 2 points. I mean, you'd think they'd been contested, but they haven't.
We should probe that sector over there.
Oh, well, I tell you what, we can maybe get a bit of an insight as to how they're feeling, because Boogie Boarders do have a listen-in ready to go, and we'll get a bit of a good idea of how
sa baba yung ano nila
pagtupian when we listen to this.
Yan yung pagtitipan nila. Baba.
Nice.
One more here.
3 flash. Moving forward.
That's this guy. That's the guy. Look back. Gotta look back. They're on the roof.
Yeah, I'm looking back. I need energy when we're done.
Powering away. I'm gonna try loot it. Going for loot.
Cannon maybe? What the fuck was that?
No.
I'm scanning for you.
I dropped all my energy there. You can take it. Just take my
Yeah, I
energy.
need to. I literally can't do anything for a bit. Alright, I got ammo now. I need
Above me.
optic.
Yeah, chill.
Looking. Yeah, I'm chilling.
Just stay
Play
healthy.
here, super safe.
Yeah, I have dog. There's traps there. I don't know. He's still there.
It's fine. 105 on him.
Nah, good shot, bro. He fucked off a bit off
What's
that.
full safe, guys?
I've got
Over here.
on me.
In this
Like they can
corner.
peek from here,
Super
but they should
safe.
get fucked. Can I loot it or no?
No,
Is there anything left?
not really. I got everything I can drop bats. I dropped the 2x here.
Nice. And they have one bat. How much energy you got now, Rocky?
I dropped my energy. I dropped all of it.
Okay, cool. Don't worry.
Okay, so Boogie Boarders have found a relatively safe spot, as you can hear there, understanding where the sight lines are. It's a bit of a tricky one here. You're not in a building, right? It's not really easy to tell exactly where you're going to be taking damage from, but as the ring is pulling over this way, and there's a good chance it does end up on that hill underneath Thunderwatch, I think this is a relatively smart spot for Boogie Boarders to stay, especially considering they started off with the 1 KP. That's that's something. Considering, look, they didn't sound like they were in too low of a spirit. Elfish. Hopefully they've got that faith in themselves.
Yeah, hopefully. We'll have to see how this game plays out. I think this could be a good one for them. They'll be on a bit of a quieter side of the zone, that northern side. There shouldn't be too many teams coming down from that area of the map. Maybe one. KPG's up above them. But it's kind of about really all they're going to have to deal with. So I think they might be okay there to just sort of play a little bit of a slower game here, maybe get some more points on the board. We'll keep checking in with them as we go through this one. But as you can see, Storm Point, it is one of those maps with quite a bit of verticality. Always makes it interesting moving around the map, particularly in this area of the map. Around Stormcatcher, there's just a lot of like terrain changes. You do have to be sort of extra careful, particularly when you're going up. You're going up these hills. There's always a possibility you can get stuck in a very awkward fight.
Yeah, 100%. There's so many teams that talk about how hard it can be to play on the south side of the map, not only because of rotations, anything. Valk ults, evac balloons actually get you less far when you think about that, right? Legends Gaming going for their 18th respawn of the series. And Zone actually does pull up very much towards Stormcatcher and that hill. So Boogie Board is actually in a fantastic spot.
Patay talaga.
SWQ may not be
Nakakainis yung vibration ng ano.
Wonton Dumpling, and they're a little bit isolated from one another. Dono has though been able to
yung
bring back
rolling
a
thunder ni
knock
ano.
with the nade.
Bangalore, nakakainis.
Fall as well. So it's just Crazy Kong who
pinush ka niyan, tapos may rolling thunder, wala.
On the outskirts of it.
Alabong.
Not even able to do enough, and yeah, some chip damage.
Hirap, ano.
It is definitely
Sobrang
not
hirap
going to keep
makatama.
this team alive. And
Whoa.
Wonton Dumpling.
Who's that flying in? It's MDY Black. What are you doing here?
Ooh, yeah, that's a good question actually.
That's the
steal some kills.
That's the edge of the zone, guys. What's going on? Why are you evacing that way?
Opportunity. They saw an opportunity. They're going to take it, but they've got to make sure that they actually convert this. Otherwise, it will look a little bit silly.
Oh!
Already, it's starting to blow up a little bit in their face. As Wonton Dumpling has secured the first knock and kill onto Jojo. It's a 2-for-1 so far, and that is just.
Nice.
Really not very
Nice.
impressive from MDY Black. Unfortunately, Wonton Dumpling sweep them aside and say, "You're nothing but a fly to me at this point."
I mean, you're gonna mess with Wonton Dumpling. You better be ready, man. Like,
If haters
can't
yan,
just
di.
roll up on that team. And
Exactly.
basta-basta
nga
your
i-push.
way. That is an interest. I mean, look, I think what happened was maybe they scanned the survey beacon at Launchpad, and they were like, "Hey, there's a fight going on edge. We can go third this." And then, well, you saw what happened.
Yeah, well, what it did actually do is allow SWQ to get at least one res. You can see them down at Launchpad, so their game's actually
Kalimitan
been
sa ano, may
somewhat
Bangalore
saved
talaga.
by what you would
Dami
maybe
mo
say
naka
is a
Bangalore,
bit of
Bloodhound,
a
Bangalore,
black,
Caustic. Tatlo yung mga composition
it'll be a
talaga.
slower
Na
rotation,
tatlo.
obviously, for Wonton
Caustic,
Dumpling than they would
Bangalore,
like, but
Bloodhound.
They don't have too far to go. It's just going to be obviously they're going to be having to
Sama-sama
fight, but okay for the moment. And here's a little bit more of that verticality that we're talking about. Stormcatcher, players down on the ground. You can have players down on the building
TSM,
level, and you can have players on the roof as well. You can occupy a lot of teams.
Caustic,
And if you would look at the minimap, or if you would look at the
Ghost Tech,
map in
Bloodhound,
general,
tsaka
you'd see that
Valkyrie.
there's a lot of teams
TSM
hanging
yan yung
around
position nila.
in this area, so it will get pretty busy once Stormcatcher starts to get pushed out of zone.
Yep, which it will. Can't end on the building in Stormcatcher, of course. That'd be crazy with all the different levels to that particular dwelling. So that means people like Legends Gaming that are playing very far away from the ring right now. I mean, these guys have to go all the way through. Ooh, looks like they're actually going to wrap through the top here and come around, try and zone wrap essentially on someone. And I like this, and I like that they're doing it in zone 2. If it was zone 3, it starts costing you a lot of meds, just for the, you know, for the sake of a couple of syringes or maybe a med kit. I think this is not a bad option, honestly. So it'll get them right on top. They'll be able to play top command center, and then you can, if you get control of this, you can actually drop down. If let's say, they've got evacs, right? You can see that already on Easy Flash there. So you take control of the gravity cannon at the top of command center, and you can literally just jump on the evac tower and oob. It's a really good play. I like this from Legends Gaming.
It's definitely an unorthodox one that can potentially catch a team or two out as well if you come from behind them in the zone. They've obviously done the math. They've got the meds. Need to be a little bit careful of Lan, who, you know, at this point, is he really paying attention to what is happening behind him? Not really. I'm also interested in what's happening down the hill. I don't know if Legend are going to be seen, so it might just be a case of whether or not they're heard. Ah, they've been spotted. There you go. So KPG have got the information. They've done their due diligence. Well done. That would have been a little bit unfortunate if they would have allowed Legend to really just push their way in.
Lalim yan, sa lalim yung dadaan. Lalim yung dadaan.
Okay, well there goes all my theory crafting about
Ito yung sa gilid sa left side.
This is also a reasonable spot to play from. That said, once they do
Left
get
side
set
yun
up,
sila
it does
dadaan.
become a little harder. So setting up here underneath, they're just, I mean, I'm surprised he's got the gen out, but I think that's just in case someone drops on them. I don't think they're like, obviously they can't stay here for anything past the next minute, but they have to go down the hill and take on, say, Serenity or Boogie Boarded. I think this is actually going to be an interesting...
They've run out of flesh meds.
Yeah, exactly. That's why I guess they're so keen on this. You can see that in their backpacks as well. But it's going to be an interesting rotate. They kind of have to kill someone to get those flesh meds. I reckon we should get a listen in here with Legends Gaming to see how they navigate this with less than ideal circumstances.
Wait until they evac, and then we evac as well, okay?
Maybe I drop my evac so they can...
Yeah. Nice. Good idea, man.
It's out of ring though. We can't take that. We'll die.
They're gonna fight us. Can we slide down to the spot? The spot?
Yeah.
Ready? 1, 2, 3, slide. There's a spot in the middle somewhere.
It's empty,
It's right here,
yeah.
Left side sila. Kasi may... Pwede ka sila pwede sila mag-slide dun.
I'm trying to put Jen down.
I'm safe on me. I'm safe on me. They're getting shot up there. Just play on me.
On mid side. Oh, you cross the golden.
Side down.
Maybe...
Yeah, I don't know. We die trying to go there. We can maybe go there. Try leg into that.
I'm following Mark.
We're safe right here, Mark. I'm safe.
Yeah, we're safe, Mark. They're
Safe
landing
on me
here.
also.
We can
Safe
shoot.
on me also.
100k.
Boom!
Safe on me also, guys.
Is this one ton? Eh, no.
I got the
It's
kill.
Legends
You think
Gaming.
you can come to us?
Legends Gaming. Ah, shit.
They're here.
You might have to
They're
third that
fighting
one.
on me.
Ano gawa mo dyan?
Side down, player.
Yeah.
It's only one, guys.
Yeah.
It's only caustic. Just myself.
Well, Legends Gaming really threading the needle in the haystack at the moment, trying to find every possible little nook and cranny of cover, and they're, to be quite honest with you, doing a decent job given the circumstances, but they might have been given a little too much to do, and Legends will be eliminated. It was some nice map knowledge displayed by Strafing, but at the end of the day, they just had no flesh meds and way too many teams crossfiring them that there was really nowhere to go.
Yeah, I'm a little surprised by that, honestly. I mean, you know, I was... I was sort of talking about how I thought it was a good decision, but if you've got that few meds in the backpack, is a zone wrap really the best plan of attack? They had to play the rest of that out as if they had like less than white armors, essentially, right? Like that's how you got to think about it. Then again, you know, some other teams kind of in shambles as well. Fussy's got 8 ammo left. That's 2 bursts of the Nemesis there. For the boogie boarders, his teammates can't help him. None of them running energy weapons, so a little bit suspect there. But as you can see with that zone pull, wow, this is just about the best possible result that a Team Burger could ever get. They are holding. Actually, do we have a name for this place yet? The secret facility is what it's called in the game. And yeah, it's unassailable, right? Like you put some caustic barrels up the top there. There is nothing else that the teams can do to take that back. It is so
Yeah, I'm not sure what that's going to mean really for everybody else, but for Team Burger at least they're pretty happy. The thing is though, we've only got the blue shields, but we'll talk about that in a moment because AGL a little boost on that rotate through. Currently the lobby leaders, and again from Asia.
Backlog Gaming was eliminated. Bye.
Is eliminated.
Guess who just went down with blue armor?
Who was that?
XX.
Done. Push, push, push.
Oh
fuck.
Every time, man. Every time. Come on. Just play edge and like hit some Evo harvesters for me, please.
No sir. Well, we'll see what happens here because this is going to get pretty messy pretty fast.
Stay.
BK Gaming have got some level of control over their circumstances, but they will have to move pretty soon. Setting up for that.
Stay.
Stars headed in the direction of MDY White.
Stay above. Oh shit.
In trouble here. Dexter goes down pretty quickly, but Akuma will be eliminated straight away. Quick trade there from Tom Yum Kung, who looks to be safe for the moment. A lot of teams floating around though, so I don't know that they can reliably get that res. They may have been able to. No, Dexter's still on the floor. BK Gaming. Oh, big one from Ziki onto Xiao Kai. Tom Young Kung not going down without a fight. They are holding on to first place for the moment, but it really comes down to what Ziki can do here with this Kraber. There's another connection. This time running out though as the zone pushes at his back, and he's eventually going to have to drop into his own smoke, which might be enough to allow a res. Risky.
Pwede pa yun.
Make it happen.
Pwede pa yun.
Yeah, it looks like outside they're going to manage to reset off this boogie borders.
It's a really good position.
Walked into a fight with Keep Going Gaming.
Pasok sila sa final circle.
They were struggling a little bit and bring it back here. Tom Young Kung just constantly under pressure. This is so hard for them. Lightning Unicorn though, also only one of them up, so...
Yeah, Dexter's been pretty much crawling this entire endgame. Ziki's the only one that's been really able to stay afloat for Tom Yum Kung, but every second that he stays open is another potential kill or another potential placement point, and that's getting you just one step closer to the magic number 50. Will give you match point. Not really the same circumstances necessarily for Lightning Unicorn. They are very far away from that. There you go. He's doing God's work at the moment for his team. There's another knock. They're going to be a finish on that one as well. You can see every single one of these kill points matters to him as he tries to find it. And it's now 3 teams remaining. A bunch just falling in unison. Going Gaming. We'll get time to reset. We talked about Team Burger up on Godspot, and MDY White also getting a reset at the moment. All 3 of those teams have 3 players alive.
APG managed to pick up 8 kills so far, doing phenomenally well as Tree Cleaner. He's actually the closest, Bible's the closest to getting red out of them. As you can see, Team Burger, you know, they were all sitting with a lot left. They've done a bit of damage, and now Sharky and Pricey are reasonably close to getting purples, but, you know, will they get them in time for this end zone? Hard to say. MDY White. They're sitting by themselves as well. Both teams on various edges of the circle, but it ends so close to Team Burger that they just absolutely will not have to fall off this high ground at all until the very last moment. So in this situation, what would you rather have? Would you rather have the purple armors, Or would you rather have
Blue armor.
the height?
Blue armor pa sila tatlo.
You'd probably rather have the height still. At least as long as it's
Oh shit.
3 teams
Oh
remaining.
shit. Boom.
When it comes
Boom.
into that 3v3, the 2 teams, the last 2 teams, then maybe the extra armors can be valuable, but you can see they're actually not too far away from the purples, as Sharky and Pricey have just hit the purples now.
You tend to agree.
Ideally not too far off.
Yeah, just forcing out that
Dyan lang
damage
kayo.
because they were close, and I think that makes a lot of sense. As you said, Way not really anywhere on that, so
Yeah, not gonna happen.
And also, he's got only 33 energy left on his Havoc, so not a lot there, for Way to do. As he uses half of that last clip, he's just the rest of it really. He's just going to charge up this PK on the top. But in terms of ultimates, now we're going to start seeing them come out. You guys have to give them options to get up the top here, but MDY White are taking the first blows.
Pinukos ka na ng
Now it's in the
burger.
hands of KPG,
Team Burger.
who are the other team on the ground.
Nice.
You need to be very careful that they don't sort of overextend on this one, because they will start to receive shots from Team Burger up the top. Team Burger are the kings of the hill at the moment. And
Patay.
they're going to try to push the issue here a little bit. This is the perfect spot to be in, really, for Team Burger. It could not get better, really. They are just wailing that damage down upon their opponents. EMP, not a bad timing for it. It's going to force some of the resets, force some bats out. There's a forcing ultimate coming through. KPG wants to take this fight and at least secure second place. Doesn't really matter, though, because it was always going to be Team Burger to take the victory.
As always.
And a solid game from them. You might look at it on paper and say that was relatively easy for them. They got the hard feat, but
Yeah.
hey, you got it.
Sobrang advantage ng Team Burger kasi nasa nasa.
Yeah, Team Burger having the knowledge on the zone was like the
It's
gift
just
that kept on giving. They were a little bit tight on loot there, but the height was enough for them just to take that
blue
victory.
Evo lang sila.
Hellfish.
Wala masyadong
A little bit sad, I
damage
guess, for
silang Enriker.
the likes of like Legends Gaming. I was watching making that zone rotate through cave.
Bro, can I at least
having a fair few teams
play
on
safe,
either side.
have some kills, have some damage.
Here, though, seeing Akuma
Effective
win
yung
the
laro
contest
nila.
again against War Monster Firebird.
There we go.
It's 2-0 as Genome said, so it's something that we're going to probably see moving forward on Storm Point. Again, a huge game from Tom Young Kung and Ziki absolutely annihilating with this Kraber. It was sort of enough to get maybe, another placement there. A quick reset on Dexter, but again, you're losing Dexter quite soon on, but, popping up there to 5th, doing the damage that we love to see from Ziki. But, I guess not enough as a little solo warlord. Elfish?
Yeah, no, not quite. But look, I mean, the thing is, every single point really matters at this point in time, because we're kind of getting into one-game territory where there's a few teams now that are like, well, next game, we should be getting that match point locked in, okay? It's not necessarily going to happen, and we'll get a look at the scoreboard at some point here, and we'll sort of break that down, but there are a couple of teams that could reliably look at that and say, well, we can do it in one game, and that's kind of what you need to be doing, so you don't run into a situation like what Team Burger did in that fateful day where I was talking about it with Genome during the cast, and I said that they won from 49 points to get to match point. They actually won 2 games in a row. They won one game that got them to 49, then they won the next game, got over 50, and then couldn't win again. So you don't want that. You want to be getting to 50 on this next game if you are Tom Yum Kung, Burger, Wonton Dumpling not too far away. Keep going gaming. It's going to take a big-ish game from them. But these are teams that are now sort of starting to get within striking distance. 9 points in one game is very achievable.
Yeah, exactly right. And I guess Ziki there with the Kraber was still enough for them to, I think they had about 6 kill points with a 5th placement, still to sort of push them right to the top and keep them there. And then Team Burger just climbing up their way. Again, they waited patiently. They had that zone knowledge in, I guess, in that new zone pool. Again, I'm unsure and unfamiliar with the name or what we're going to call that little area, but a few zones do pull there. You do solidify that height, and it is a huge one. Most teams will sort of play around that tree area as well, and then you just watch everyone rotate and storm. And yeah, Team Burger just really showed us exactly how to play that zone. And again, Wonton Dumpling getting knocked out a little bit early, but again, still collecting a lot of kills. I think it was MDY Black that sort of flew in and just kind of gave them all that KP.
yeah, that was a very interesting choice from them, but I guess, I don't know, look, if I'm trying to grasp at straws, if I'm trying to play devil's advocate, they must have thought that they had a third-party opportunity because they had heard a lot of fighting over there. The issue was that Wonton Dumpling still had 3 strong, and they were basically uncontested, really, by SWQ, who were getting farmed. And then MDY lands on them, and it's like, oh, sup, by the way, it's a 3v3, and we're better.
Yeah, and at the end of the day, you don't know what team you're landing on. But yeah, I think SWQ sort of made it away with 2 players. But, you know, that's just how the cookie crumbles. But we're going to take ourselves another short break. And we will see you back on... actually, we're going to see you back on... World's Edge. It is World's Edge. Let's go. Yep. All right, we'll see you shortly.
Look, I mean, this has been the most competitive year of Apex. Who is only going to get? Who is going to be the team to challenge the titans of TSM?
From legacy to a dynasty, it is now complete for TSM. TSM up in the skies, how's look down from the heavens? Zero are losing. They're taking damage, but no! Here comes Zero! Zero! The captain! The icons of Dark Zero are your champions! I think we're starting to see a bit of a rivalry develop in Apex Legends. As these trophies just keep going back and forth. Dark Zero, TSM, it's always one of those 2 teams. Unbelievable final we've had here today.
And eliminating TSM as a first team to go in the logic board.
Optic Gaming might be about to break records. Dropped. Tries to move in to clean up the pieces. Optic will fall.
TSM are your Game 6 champions.
And TSM. This is going to be SAF versus TSM in the final fight. A chance for legacy to become a dynasty with a hostile takeover. TSM are your champions.
Do you fear me, pilot? I don't fear anything. Can you say the same?
Tricked you. Whew. Glad I got that off my chest.
Tell Death I said hello.
I will laughter.
Welcome back, everyone. Game number 4. It was action-packed with Team Burger taking the win from, from high from the gods spot, pushing them up to 2nd place for today. You know, we're here to cover everything Apex South here in the regional finals. We are obviously having the match point format, so things are a little bit different. We need our teams to hit 50 points to be match point eligible. We have not yet reached that yet, Elfish.
Yeah, but we're not too far away. We've got 9 points required for Tom Yum Kung Team Burger, so I think that's very achievable in one game. Wonton Dumpling, the way they've been playing, yeah, I can see them getting that done. I mean, yeah, high placement definitely gets it there. A couple of kill points in there, and you're pretty much set. And for keep going gaming, the job gets a little bit harder. You'd be starting to look at like a top 2 or a top 1 to actually make that happen, plus a decent number of kills coming through as well. So beyond that, like, unless it's a really, really good game from like Akuma, Bearclaw, Serenity, or maybe KPG, I think it's probably the top 3 that we're kind of looking at here and saying, okay, they just need not a middling game. It needs to be like a semi-decent game. But we could reasonably go into the next game with like 2 or 3 teams potentially that are on that match point.
Yeah, exactly right. So, yeah, we could even just have a win, I guess, from Wonton Dumpling to solidify themselves to hit the 50 points. So we're very much really there, very close. But, you know, we know our heavy-hitting teams. Now let's take a look at our big damage players. Of course, we've seen that name before.
3.42.
It's Gugu.
Eight
You know,
damage.
absolutely
Gugu.
exceptional player there for
Pricey.
Wonton Dumpling.
And Sharky.
Yeah, I guess we could touch on it.
Dalawa nila Team Burger at saka si Blanaon si sa Wonton Dumplings.
High damage things, Elfish. But, you know, Sharky and Pricey for Team Burger, and they've been performing exceptionally well today.
Yeah, indeed.
Yes, indeed.
Team Burger
Yes,
are having
indeed.
a bit of a day, and that's exactly what you want to be doing. All right, this is the day that you need to be turning up. Now, that last game certainly has helped out. I mean, it's beneficial to them that we look at this graphic after the game, which they just did so well in. But, you know, we'll obviously have to see how things continue to shape up over the next couple of games. Would it have looked exactly that way prior to that game? Maybe not. I think, as we've said, Gugu has been kind of the standout, obviously, for not just today, but really for the entire season, has been one of those players that we've been looking to and saying, wow, that guy is certainly a talent. And Wonton Dumpling already, yeah, like we said, have kind of locked themselves in for an international spot. But tonight, they're also doing well for themselves, which is not necessarily something we can say from Legends Gaming. That graphic there, you would normally see Legends Gaming players on that graphic. And tonight, they're struggling a little bit more. So it's, yeah, once again, I guess that argument between Wonton Dumpling and Legends, who's at the top of APAC South? Well, right now, I think the argument has to be going to Wonton Dumpling because they are doing well in the strongest lobby that we have.
Yeah, you know, Legends Gaming are, you know, still doing, I guess, a little bit of work. But yeah, they're taking more of a backseat because they kind of know that they're going through. But then you look at Wonton Dumpling, you know, being that team that just wants to be able to do it all. You know, I guess at the end of the day, you want to get yourself through the LAN. You want to get the prize money as well. And you want to do it with style. So that's exactly what they're trying to do. I guess they solidify a win. I think they had a win already on I guess World's Edge, so we're going back to World's Edge shortly. They might be able to do it again. That will put them in the match point eligibility, and it's just going to be super good from them. I guess Team Burger as well, sitting in second. I think they're only 9 points away from hitting match point as well, Elfish. So with their performance today, it is definitely doable. They just took out the win just before, and they have seemed to be sort of collecting the kill points. So 9 I guess points away from match point eligibility is not too difficult, and we will definitely probably see it this game.
Yeah, something that I'm looking at as well going into this one is like, where's Boogie Borders, right? Like, when do we get to actually see them pop up? Because that last game, again, they were in a pretty rough spot that we saw them having to push down the hill and sort of play like, I think they ended up being like maybe around 8th, 9th, something like that when they got knocked out. So they got a couple of points on the board at least for that, in comparison to some of the earlier games that we watched where they just got like 1 point or no points. So it's an improvement, but it's not up to scratch for a team like Boogie Borders, who has been one of the best teams in the region so far. Look at this tonight, 19th, 13th, 20th, and 9th. So 2 games they've gone last or second last. Once they've gone 13th, which is nothing to get excited about, and their best game is a 9th with 1 kill. And it's just like, what has happened to this team tonight? Again, they were in such a solid position going into tonight, 86 points on the overall standings, that it's pretty unlikely that they get knocked out of the top 8, but I mean, they're not doing themselves any favors. Like, I haven't done the maths, you know, like, it's kind of hard at this point, like, so many teams you have to think about and stuff like that, but I mean, they're not in a position where they're going to get, like, barely any points out of today. They might have gotten, like, they might have got 1 point or something. If the game's ended now, they'd get, like, 1 point. I think they were in 19th or something like that. So that's barely anything. So yeah, I mean, it's tough.
Yeah, I've sort of touched on, you know, they always have a little bit of a slow start, but you know what? Let's hope they can turn it around in this next game. We're heading back to World's Edge. This is game number 5.
World's Edge, game 5. Here we go.
Yeah, well, all it takes really is one good
Team
game
Burger
from them,
and Wonton Dumplings.
Sooner rather than later. But they're probably not the biggest of talking points at the moment, because really what we're focusing on is whether or not those teams toward the top end can now get themselves to match point, and I would hope at least one team is going to be able to do that this game.
Yeah, I think that is quite likely that we see one team there. It's not certain. I mean, you know, 9 points is still you have to work for that, and the fact that you know, we've only got it was Team Burger and Tom Young Kung up in that sort of situation. I mean, shout out to Tom Young Kung. Those guys always show up in regional finals. Like when it comes to the hardest lobbies, you know, those guys are definitely putting in the work, and you know, the harder it gets, it seems like almost the better they will do. And you were having a discussion about boogie borders there, a little bit elfish. I have done the maths, and I can tell you it is not impossible for them to fall out of that top 8.
Nice.
Right?
My favorite weapon.
It is impossible
Spitfire.
for like Legends Gaming and for and
Spitfire. Wanton Gaming. Wanton Dumpling is
that
landing spot is
the
thermal
boogie borders
station.
don't make it through if they don't improve.
They're
They
always
probably
in
only
thermal
need, like,
station.
a
That's their
15th or 14th
that's their
or something
spot.
to get through. I would
Where's
say
the Team Burger? Team Burger
nice,
is on
nice
Skyhook.
zone for them, so definitely we'll keep our eyes on them. This game is War Monster Firebird pull out the
Team Burger.
Conduit Pathfinder Revenant.
Could be.
Okay.
In a nice
Let's
spot.
go.
They, I'm pretty sure they're the team at the bottom of the standings right now, and they would also have been one of those teams that was pretty much relying on winning this lobby to actually go to land. So
And the previous game,
think,
Team Burger is
if you
on,
put two
always in
and
a
two
good
together
spot.
here, Gino,
Always in the circle.
They might have checked out a little bit after.
So they don't
first
have to
few games,
move.
and now they're starting.
They
to
just
go,
have to
well,
farm.
We're not going to make it. Let's have some
Poke,
fun.
snipe, kill,
I mean,
perhaps.
Match point, man. You just win every game from now on. Like, that's the fun of it.
Yeah. Okay, with this comp,
Final circle
Yeah,
supposed
if,
to be.
hello,
if they did it-
Raid Boss Revenant. I mean, I don't know if you've seen that guy just like
Team
full
Burger
send
side.
you with an EVA 8 in season 20, but he's pretty much unbeatable.
we'll see. We'll see.
I believe.
My doubts.
I believe.
Here's
Boogie
Boogie Borders,
Borders.
5 points right now. You talked about them maybe needing to hit 15, 14, which would give them 5 or 6 season points overall. Yeah. Right now they're at 19, which gives them 1 season point.
Yep.
So that is, yeah, that is a, like if there was ever going to be a time where the 3rd placed team going into the day didn't make it in the top 8, it actually could be today if they sit there at 19. Like that's how it happens, unfortunately. And I regret that we're having to talk about it, but look, it is one of the big talking points of this lobby right now.
Absolutely. Well, they've found position early in the ring. They might be okay. And then as we switch over to our Pathfinder friend here, you can see Azu has picked that up with Shark. He's gonna be, you know, he's gonna be sniffing for blood there on that Revenant. I mean, this is gonna be one of the first time we see Pathfinder Evo picks in competitive Apex as well, which is obviously kind of fun.
True.
And yeah.
Nice move.
Yeah, so yeah, he'd gone for Survey Beacon, Field Research, and now obviously, you know, so for his level 2 Evo upgrades there for Pathfinder, you can either choose to be able to scan ring consoles or Survey Beacons, right? And I think that makes a lot of sense there for War Monster Firebird because they started off at staging. And yeah, they started off with a Survey Beacon. They didn't have a ring console, right? So it's a bit funny because you have to get the Evo before you can actually scan it. So you know you'd like that 200 to upgrade your armor, but you don't actually get that chance. But you know they've already picked up 2 Survey Beacons, and now they're
What
potentially
the
actually
hell are
moving
you
back
doing?
to take a fight with Wonton Dumpling because you know they're looking for those kill points. But lots of other action going on around the map, so we'll try and follow as much of it as we can as teams just zoom into Skyhook as the zone moves over there. But some of these teams are setting up. Some of these teams are setting up for fights further afield as well.
It's going to be one of those games where I'm kind of looking at Dreamfire again. I know I had them highlighted as one of my teams to watch at the start of the day. They were dropping in countdown, so it's not been a very far rotate for them. They should be pretty happy with the position that they've been able to find themselves in. Like, they would have had, if not the pick of the litter, at least the sort of top 2 kind of position, if that makes sense. Like, they should, in theory, be rotating faster than almost every other team if they're coming through from countdown. So I look at them and say, okay, if you're going to get a ring pool like this one, you need to get some value out of it, particularly because has been, you know, it's not been an awful night,
no.
but it hasn't been an amazing night.
Sorry, I was just watching. Yeah, no, you're absolutely right there. I just got a bit of a jump scare as Raki got knocked in that building that we were looking at just before from Boogie Borders. Obviously, we keep talking about how they really just need a... honestly, one good game would be enough. One big game would probably do it for them and put them beyond reproach for LAN.
Yeah. Well, keep an eye on things. Legends also have not been at their best tonight.
Ooh, okay.
Nakura na.
Yeah, it's been a tough one for them. Watson, Conduit, Bangalore. This will be a composition they had been playing with throughout the split, or at least for season 20. And I think it's a decent comp. It's not one that many other teams have been opting for very much. But Straight from Flame is, no stranger to that.
Oh shit! Oh shit! Oh,
well,
shit!
That was a close one, but MDY White, they're taking this fight, and it's not going too well for them. Team Burger eventually do fall.
Oh my god!
That'll be their first big exit. That's the first game that they really missed out on. It looked awkward for a moment for MDY White with first player going down.
Kala ko talo nila yung MDY. Team Burger naman eh.
Hold on. Just a chaotic fight, you know. It's one of those where
exactly
the
chaotic
difference
fight
is split by very, very tiny little pieces of that engagement.
almost lahat ng halos lahat ng composition is
pulls up
Bangalore, Bloodhound, tsaka Caustic.
Skyhook.
Are in a good spot.
Like probably 12.
Gosh,
Vanilla.
Does that go? Does it come back? Honestly, I'm gonna reserve
Napalit
judgment
yung
at
iba.
this point. I think, there's a chance Legends Gaming still could be okay under the Raven there at the bottom of Trials, but we'll just wait and see.
Should be mentioned that with Team Burger going out there, that's one of the teams that we thought might be able to make it into match point. Now, not able to do so out of this game. So that's great news for Tom Yum Kung potentially. If they can do well this game, they can be maybe the only team with the chance in the next game. We'll keep you up to date with how that one's going. War Monster Firebird with a grand total of 2 points tonight. They've decided to pull out the cheeky comp.
Yeah, so they've been kind of mirroring Wonton Dumpling as they pulled out of Thermal Station. They met them in the choke that joins Thermal Station and Mirage Etoile. And then Wonton Dumpling honestly didn't want to take the fight straight away, so they went around, and now they have kind of once again locked them in over here at
Kulang
Love.
ng isang one shot na lang talaga yun. Literal na one shot. Oh shit, shot.
Here. Okay, well, I guess that is one of the benefits of Pathfinder, is that when you are pretty much losing that fight, there's still a chance you can get out to some degree of safety if you're knocked mid-grapple. But maybe I'm grasping at straws a little bit here for Azu. I'm not sure that he's going to be getting picked back up. By the way, Wonton Dumpling, they're also in with a chance here. 12 points on the board, required to make it to 50.
They get the finish.
Yeah, that's one more. All right, so it's 11 required now.
Yep, full kill for Wonton Dumpling there, and War Monster Firebird now. We'll just have to back out. I mean, they've got the conduit, so they can just pull back to maybe, say, Landslide, and grab that Arthur Banner and res over there. But, Wonton Dumpling, they've been, their plan has been waylaid by War Monster Firebird, so do they want to let them get away with it? Seems like they will.
Revive.
They'll probably just slowly make their way through Love Fissure, through Countdown, and then eventually into Skyhook. They're called Gaming, who've been, obviously doing pretty well with that epic duo win over on Storm Point. They're up the north of Trials, so I guess they were kind of hoping that maybe it would pull a bit more that way, and they're going to have to try and wrap through Trials itself. Which is currently free, because AGL are on top of it, no one's inside of it.
Well, Bear Claw Gaming is they're going to be a team that's going to have to keep pushing right now. They'll be feeling good about the night so far, but they were 16th overall coming into this lobby, and 61 points. If they wanted to make it into the top 8, they would have needed to get a differential of 14, so plus 14 over the team that was in that position at the start of the day. They are doing very well for themselves. Were they 3rd overall, I think I saw just there. So they're actually in with a pretty reasonable chance of kind of making an unlikely play into the top 8 if they can continue to play the way that they have so far. And it also does depend, I guess, a little bit on when does this lobby actually end? Does it end at the 6th game? Or does it end at the 8th game or the 10th game? You know, how much time do other teams have to catch up to this lead, or how much time do they have to build that lead? We'll have to obviously keep an eye on things. But yeah, Bearclaw Gaming, look, they're still a bit of an outside shot, but it's not impossible.
Nope. It's been uncharacteristically even so far today, and that's why we're in here in match 5, and no one is at match point, and you know there's still a chance that no one's at match point in match 6, right? And that, you know, the points have been really evenly spread across the board. Usually you will see one team popping off, or one team having, you know, 2 very strong games, and therefore just reaching match point a bit earlier than everybody else. It's just kind of, out of 20 teams, it's almost like statistically likely that that happens to someone, right? Oh, nice stick there! And there we go. You goes down.
Yeah, that'll be enough for the
Nice
knock.
stick.
Anyway, Black, they're not out of the hot water just yet, though. They can't really push down the stairs to capitalize on that knock. So really all it does is it kind of buys them a bit of time. Skillbot's out. Jojo's going to be getting some value from that one, and you can hear the Arc Stars getting tossed on in.
Push!
But it's from Okuma, who is holding the stairs, and there's a push to come through. Solo push really from Beyond. There was a little bit of a follow-up, but
oh my
it's just
god,
not going to
still
work
win
for
that?
MD White.
Yes, they
Well,
did.
it was a,
They did still win
it
it.
was a bit of an ill-fated push for MD White.
Unfortunately. Yeah, nice stick sana yun.
Yeah. Okay. I thought it was the other way around. I thought MDY Black with a...
MDY was on top. MDY Black was on the roof.
Oh, okay. Sorry, my bad.
They pushed down.
Yeah. That makes more sense.
They were
then.
2 only, and they had that. They sort of, I guess they recognized they had that window where they were like, well, we have to try to push down while they're rezzing so we can take the 2-on-2.
Right.
But it was always going to be a tough kind of a fight because there was like, there was caustic gas, there was arc stars, everything getting tossed at the bottom of those stairs that they had to push through.
Yep. No. You're right. Okay, one wants to Firebird. I haven't managed to recover, actually. In fact, they're in even more dire straits than they were before. Now down to just the one member. Just the party left alive as Wonton Dumpling taking some shots from our friends over at Legends Gaming. And getting helped out by AGL on top as well.
RE45 with a CG threat. Okay. Ooh, he's not feeling too happy about things.
No.
There's a lot of spam going back and forth.
Oh god!
God! Not even just spam, because he can see everything.
How has this gone so wrong?
It went so right, and it went wrong really quick.
Meat in the sandwich between a couple of teams. Wonton Dumpling, just a duo. But again, Wonton Dumpling, they need these points on the board. They're looking for everything they can get. There's another couple, but I'm not sure they're going to make it to match point now because VK Gaming is charging in their direction.
Ibang team na naman to.
Yep, will they get the finish here onto Boring? They do! That's another team who was potentially looking to make it to match point, not going to. So there's pretty much only one left in the lobby now, Tom Young Kung. And if we do get a look at that next zone at some point, we'll be able to see what their chances are of making it there. Because honestly, there is quite a bit of ground for them to cover in the middle of Skyhook, where there's currently a
What happened? Production team! Fix it! Ano nangyari? Walang audio? Hello? Audio! 10 out of 10 production team. Hey! Audio production team! Where is it? Classic Apex Legends, no way. Comment. We have to... No audio moment. First time the music and last no audio. Audio not found. Bug. Production team, fix it. Right away. Immediately. My God. Apex production team. Audio. Where the fuck is my audio? Audio team. Nabunot. Nabunot ang wire. My goodness. Refresh. Refresh? Okay. Let me see. It's not working. Alt for audio fix. Huh? S comes from Serenity. Even in stream, still have no audio. Ah. Classic Apex Legends. Six teams left. PK Gaming was eliminated. Dead. Dead. Keep going was eliminated. 4 teams left. Good. Here we go. Here we go. Guys, I apologize or the audio. The audio. Classic Apex Legends. Let's see the chat. Chat says, where is the audio? Pro League but no audio. Yeah, nice job. See? Not me, it's the production team. Bearclaw Gaming is the champion. Fortunately, no audio. So it is what it is. Congratulations, Bearclaw. And congratulations, production team. Job well done. I didn't even know if, or I don't know if they realized na wala sila audio. Like, no audio. Can we replay that? No audio. What is she saying? Sound of silence. Muted. Let me try if I can pull up. I can pull up some other browser. Is it my browser or them? It's the production team. Definitely production team. Definitely production team. Imperial Hall. Where is the audio? My goodness. My goodness gracious. The F is happening. What the hell is happening? No audio. Even in Twitch, there's no audio. Walang audio kahit sa Twitch. So it's a production team. There's no audio, boys. Audio. It's not me. It's the production team of Apex Legends of ALGS. Fortunately, yeah, she's right. She's definitely right. She's right though. She's right.
Well, right now, I think the argument has to be going to...
There's no fucking audio. It's audio will be back soon, guys. Please be patient. Oh, 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 It will take a couple of minutes. Audio will be back shortly due to the delay. It will take a couple of minutes. So how many minutes does your delay have? What's the delay count? 5 minutes? We're getting McDonald's. Anybody want some? To get audio, you need to pay EAO $10. Troll. I'm guessing that aux cord simply fell out. How much Apex coins do I have spent to get the audio? For each legend, Alt F4 for full audio. Come on. I got audio here. Just refresh your stream. No way. Let me try it. Alright. Refresh stream. It's the fucking audio. Audio is for losers. You should have already memorized all the sounds. If you want there to be a sound, buy $69 audio DLC. Bro, don't need audio to play Apex. Alright, there you go. Audio is restored. Audio is restored. Good job.
Oh yeah, we're all wanting
Audio is back. Now I want a refund. Audio is back. Now I want refund. Thanks for paying 1,000 Apex coins. A heirloom refund, please. Good. Audio's back. Audio's back.
Locked and loaded. Drop shocked and rocked. Say hello to the 401st. Get ready for a world of hurt. Kill confirmed. Gonna add you to the list.
Welcome back, everyone. We are here showcasing the talent in Apex South. It's regional finals, so that means we're very close to seeing what teams make it through to LAN. Another win was filed away for Bear Claw Gaming. They're sitting quite low on the leaderboard standings, but they're not going to make that their final story, being one of our first teams to hit match point eligibility. Of course, if they win this next game, it's a ticket through to LAN, but if that's easier said than done, Genome. So, we're going to keep a close eye on them, but another team that we want to, I guess, keep a close eye on is like Tom Young Kun and Wonton Dumpling, of course, being, very close as well.
I mean, look at that. 4 teams on 41. 2 on 42 points. I mean, I think at the start of that game, it was Burger on 41 and Tom Young Kung on 41. So they've added 1 point between them.
50 points.
Yes.
And then we've got everyone else just storming up behind them. So, I mean, fantastic effort by Bear Claw to get over the hump there. Yeah, look, sorry if you guys didn't catch that one as we were working through some audio issues in the last game, but it's basically what me and Elfish were saying, right? They're like, they've just got to stand on the hill here and blast for every single KP they can, because they might just grab 50 points. And in the end, they do. They make it. And all of the teams that we thought might get there did not. So now, Lace, we're getting to the situation where over the next couple of games, it's really gonna start filling out that roster, right? Like game 7 and 8, there's probably gonna be a lot of teams on match point. This one, where you're the only team on match point, teams tend to focus on you a little more. It's kind of harder. It's kind of harder for Bear Claw to take this one out, I would say. But hey, they've done it with a duo so far today, so who knows what they're capable of.
That's it. You know, T's going to be out for Bear Claw Gaming. But yeah, like you said, we have, I didn't actually look past the 42 point there, but I saw everyone on 41 points. Not going to lie, I skimmed over that. It's definitely going to see more teams hit that match point. And with those top teams, they seem to always be performing in these matches that we've seen. You know, we've touched on Boogie Boarders then being at the lower end and not really doing too much to jeopardize these teams that we haven't seen much of, like Serenity are doing extremely well. I wanted to touch on them too. They've been absolutely annihilating in these last couple of matches. So once, you know, they hit match point, you know, it's going to be tight. Obviously, I think it was Akuma as well. MDY White, I believe, are up there as well, doing lots and lots of things throughout these matches. So it's going to be close. Like we've just seen the same sort of teams in these previous matches sort of take out victories. So once they hit match point, I feel like that top 8 bracket that we did just see on that leaderboard are in contention for match point and taking it out.
Yeah, I mean, you know, decent call out on Serenity there. I think 8k damage for the team overall at the moment is at a decent clip. Tom Young Kung, just having a quick look at my stats, the only team to get over 10,000 damage so far in this series, and running out that with 24 kills, which I believe is the most in the lobby, tied with Akuma actually at the moment. So yeah, look, a couple of heavy hitting teams there. I mean, you know, Serenity, they're just they're playing it safe. They're playing the Bang Blood Caustic composition, right? So yeah, look, let's speaking of it, why don't we have a look at what the teams have been picking so far? So
33
this is just
picks
for World's Edge, and you can see
Bangalore, Bloodhound, Caustic.
The most common pick there is
common
of course,
pick
the
talaga yung
Bang
tatlo.
Blood Caustic, and it dwarfs everything else, right?
Yeah.
Next is Crypto, Caustic, and Bang with 9, and then you've got our favorite comp down the bottom there, courtesy of War Monster Firebird.
Yeah, they do love picking a little bit of rev when it comes to crunch time, that team. But yeah, I guess in our first couple of matches when we were on World's Edge for match 1 and 2, Bangalore was all across every single team. You know, we're seeing a slight change up, I guess, coming into, you know, match 5 and 6 from people picking Bangalore. Of course, Caustic, again, was a solid pick as well. Now we're just seeing, I guess, more Watsons flow throughout there. And then obviously you need a counter to Watson, so Crypto's are coming through, you know, being able to scan those beacons and get an eye on where all those teams are headed, and Bloodhound, you know, scanning through all the smoke of the caustic gas and the Bangalore smokes that we're going to see. But it's interesting to see, you know, Conduit was a massive pick for a lot of teams, I guess, before Season 20 changes, Genome. And, you know, having, I guess we're watching, I think it's Legends Gaming playing the Bangalore Conduit Watson pick, and that seems to be doing well for them. Still having, I guess, that crutch of you know, getting those extra shields from Conduit seems to be going okay for them. I guess, like Elfish said, you know, they're not doing what we've seen in the previous weeks, but do they really need to? You know, I think they've already got that ticket through, so you know, they're not doing anything too crazy.
Yep. A lot of teams playing it safe here, Lace. Only a couple really trying to test the boundaries, like with that lifeline. And as you said, yeah, Crypto sort of being the alternative pick to the Bloodhound there in terms of people wanting to pick up recon characters. Because, you know, it gives you more access to those survey beacons, either when you're on your rotate and you can, you know, fly the drone and grab that 200 Evo XP a little bit more easily, but also when you're stuck in the end zones and you have the opportunity to, you know, wait until you need, you know, the rotate to come through and then be able to ping the survey beacon at a really critical time in the game.
Yeah, no, exactly right. So, I guess we're going to have to wait and see and check out. We've got one team on match point eligibility. That is Bear Claw Gaming. Let's take it away to game number 6 and see if they can do it.
Yeah, well, all eyes going to be on Bear Claw Gaming, who have really just come out of nowhere today, haven't they? 2 wins on the board. They were 16th going into the day, and now sitting on top, being the only team that could potentially prevent us from going one more game. We'll have to hold our breath and wait and see if they can do it again. It would be an incredible day from them, though, if they could win a third here and make it 50% of the games won by one individual team, which is not a feat that seems to get picked up all that often.
Tough to do, isn't it? Having a look at where that ring is going, it's going to be towards Big Maud, potentially down towards Stacks there. As we can glean from that, that's a big pull for Bear Claw Gaming, isn't it?
Oh my word, it has gone right over the top of Big Maud. And they know as well. Like, I'm watching their POV.
Yep.
I'm going to be sitting on their POV this entire game while I'm watching, in-game. And they are well aware that this is right over the top. So, look, it's still not going to be easy. It never is going to be easy to win in a lobby like this, and it's certainly not going to be easy to do it 3 times in one night in 6 games. But you really couldn't ask for a better opportunity than this.
Certainly couldn't.
That is crazy. So, look, we'll see if they can do it.
It's come at such a crucial time. And oh man, Belkin currently running the double flatlines, including the Rampart special. So
I do want to just point out though, like, we've done some analysis of the match point histories of like all the regions and how that's played out. One thing to note is that at least last year, of the teams that got the match point first, only 4 out of 14 were actually able to convert that into the overall lobby.
Wow.
So it's not a great conversion rate. It definitely doesn't tell you that, it's going to happen. So I would still be like, look, let's be realistic about this. If it does happen, that's fantastic, obviously, for Bear Claw Gaming, but it's not something that we should be expecting.
There we go, guys.
Yes. Yeah, I'd have to agree with you right there. Legends. They've obviously read that this is they once again did not get ring console. They have been very much on the receiving end of some rough RNG as far as that goes today, considering, they're running the Watson every game. Obviously they, can scan if they get a beacon, but they just keep not getting beacon. That said, they've I guess they've watched the teams around them and they have correctly rotated to Big Maud. So that's a good pick.
What do you think about this position from Bear Claw Gaming, though? I mean, with the knowledge that the ring is touching on this side, they have gone as far out to the edge of the zone as they possibly can.
I like it.
Basically, they've guaranteed now that they cannot get any more loot unless they get it from a loot box late in the game. So they have to be really intelligent with how they're choosing to take their fights, whether they're even choosing to take fights to begin with. And obviously, beyond that fact, they have to kind of hope that the pulls are going to come in their direction still.
Yeah, well, it's a super safe way to play the game, right? They don't need KP. Okay, so they don't need to sit in Big Maud and try and push out people who are coming in. They literally just need a first place. As you can see there, that was Rudine actually taking some of those shots from long range here from Ziki, so they've got to be careful of those angles towards Stacks if it does end up pulling over that way. But certainly if it pulls anywhere towards the east side here, as they're sort of predicting, Bear Claw should be in a good spot. But yeah, as you say, not a huge amount of meds for them.
Keep going gaming and not having a very good time here, and again they were another one of those teams that we were saying maybe a little bit close to getting to match point, so to see them potentially suffering some losses early on to make that unlikely for this game at least.
UI Black here. And I almost feel like keep gaming. There's finished off completely. Kind of sister team actually pushing up near them now. That's MDY, white and black on the ends of those tunnels. I like that. the other game on Storm Point where they landed on Wonton Dumpling, I feel like that's like, it's basically like the dictionary definition of inting.
Yeah.
Like, I think we should actually just grab that clip.
No, I don't disagree. It wasn't anything that inspired a lot of confidence. It's really. They're doing a little okay here though. MDY wide at least. I suppose the majority of what's going on around the map right now probably isn't happening right over the top of Stacks and Big Mord, because there's actually still quite a lot of teams that are coming down from Skyhook, Countdown, Landslide, Staging. You've got teams that are still sort of working their way in from there. BK Gaming coming out of the geyser right now.
Let's transfer to that spot.
You probably don't need to move too much further. You can actually hold this position. It's not a bad one because you get good information. You can see both directions. They've actually got the crypto drone as well, which will help them to sort of do a bit of scouting. And it gives you options, right? Worst case scenario, you can go back up into geyser and potentially use the geyser to rotate in a different direction, or obviously you can just drop down into Big Mord, which probably will be what they end up doing. There's not actually a huge amount going on that side of Big Mord, so they will have a, in theory, fairly safe rotate, as long as it's, you know, outside of maybe Lightning Unicorn causing a bit of trouble.
Now, we had a little bit of an issue with one of our the client that's running the stats feed for this game, so I don't know. I don't think we'll get that back until match 7. But luckily, this is an easy one to keep track of because we really only have to be thinking about Bear Claw Gaming, right? They're the only team on match point. They're the only one can take it out. And I guess we'll just check in with the other teams afterwards to try and work out how many of those teams on 41, 42 points will be moving up onto match point should we make it to match 7. Pretty likely, 19 out of 20 chance, but you never know.
Yeah, Tom Yum Kung, Burger, probably the two that you want to be keeping a bit of an eye on. Sort of track of their kills if you're interested in either of those teams, because they may well still be able to make it off of this game. Fire. Spotted SWQ, who are rotating their way into Lava Siphon.
Comfortable position for Dreamfire as well. They like being the gatekeepers, and they're going to try and do that, as you say, to SWQ, potentially even to almost to Firebird as well, who come in behind them.
Shots, but Xiao Kai's down on the ground, so BK Gaming might have some bigger fish to fry in that they need to sort of focus on themselves before they focus on their opponents. A lot of resources being invested here with the util getting tossed out. Thermite nades, Dark Stars, everything. A little bit of a tickle. Yan will open up some info through that smoke, but realistically speaking, not a whole lot should be coming from this fight. Legends will also back away.
Player K there, MNK Watson, always nice to have on your team. You can set up those fences so much more quickly, more easily, more accurately with the MNK than you can on controller. So it's a, a good pick for a triple MNK team like we have in Legends Gaming.
Very interested to see where this next ring pool is going to end up. So that's going to give us an even better idea as to whether or not Bear Claw Gaming can actually just sit here and do nothing pretty much the whole game. Which I think if they do get the opportunity to do that, then I actually think they might win. I do genuinely believe they will win from that position. I've seen it before. I've seen this position win before. With the right ring pool, it is very, very doable. Because everyone has to then fight over stacks, over Big Mord. And you end up kind of just being isolated on your island, and you come in for the third party and clean sweep it. And it's going to happen. I could see it happening again. So let's just keep an eye on it, but AGL's been eliminated. Not a huge talking point at this stage.
Well, it was by Boogie Borders, though. It was a fight over in Fragment, and so obviously they managed to come out on top. Any points for Boogie Borders are really good points right now, because as we said, they don't need that many to get up into, say, 15th spot and confirm that LAN ticket, Elfish, but they do need a couple. So, honestly, starting out with that is fine, and that's cleared out their rotate all the way into Geyser.
Four teams inside a Big Mord right now. 4 teams. So it's getting pretty busy. One of those was VK Gaming, yeah. Made their way from Geyser. Team Burger. Well, they will probably be hoping that the game doesn't end right here. They'd like to get their 9 points on the board and make sure that they can make it through to match point for that contestation themselves.
Okay, moment of truth.
We should inspect that
Oh,
area.
yeah.
With that ring pull. Oh my god. Oh my god.
Well,
all right. Maybe if we could pull up the map view. I know we had a little bit of some issues with it before. Hopefully we can get some vision of that, because that is a scripted ring pull if I've ever seen one, my friends.
Yeah. Yeah. One Monster Firebird has been eliminated. Rest in peace to the Pathfinder flying through the air like an angel.
Yeah, now he's in heaven, all right.
Now he's in heaven, wherever the robot heaven is. Do any teams actually are having a bit of a look?
Okay.
Oh, it's so doable.
Okay.
If they don't win here, you couldn't ask for a better opportunity.
That's
There's
insane.
no better opportunity than this. And this is like, it's almost destiny, you know? Something about the world, something about the universe wants this team to go to LAN, and it is giving them every possible chance.
Someone has put pen to paper for this game. Yep. There is no doubt about it, and they are being aggressive here to watch this situation keep others away. As you can see, they actually get a kill onto VK Gaming, who are playing in the broken house. That's important. They want to clear this space out. They want to relieve as much pressure on themselves as they can.
Evos. They want their Evos as well, and Heck is 94 away from purple, which is obviously where you kind of need to be getting. Issue for Heck is he's got 23 reloadable heavy ammo, so starting to really run low already on the heavy ammo for him at least. And for Rudine and Belkin, they're quite a ways away from that Evo. I actually have my doubts as to whether or not they'll even get it before the end of the game, or maybe just during that final sort of fight. But man, you really couldn't ask for a better zone pool than that. That's the biggest takeaway, and
yep.
We'll see whether or not it'll be enough. We'll focus on that in a second, though, because obviously that'll be a factor for later on in the piece. And Wonton Dumpling is kind of doing it tough at the moment. They've got a decent amount of map control down to the southern side of the zone here, with a 2-1 split, which is not something that you see all that often, actually, when it comes to Apex Legends. But they're pretty healthy, pretty solid, able to help each other, and it's a quick rotate across if they need. Wonton Dumpling, again, same vein as Team Burger, want to make sure that this game actually goes at least another match so that they can fight for that first place.
Yep. I mean, I think the split hole for Wonton Dumpling is actually going to pay off right now, as the players know that they need to pull back to that position that Boring had in the RV. It's not actually in that next zone, but it's probably close enough that they can stage from there.
This is where it starts to get interesting, though. Now that teams are going to have to move out of Big Maw and move out of stacks. I mean, we've got 16 squads left, but the next zone really doesn't have a lot of cover in it at all. VK Gaming have control of one of the small buildings. Wonton Dumpling is sort of playing around a caravan and some ruins. And that's kind of about it. Like, there's really not a whole lot else to write home about when it comes to this next zone. So it's gonna get pretty disastrous pretty soon. And MDY, it's MDY on MDY. It's MDY White beating up MDY Black, taking some points off of them. All the good it's going to do them, because they still have to take one further step beyond this building.
Oh, no.
Corgi Borders out in 20th as well. Or the drama increases. I feel like someone has written a script for us, and it is tasty.
It's a fun one so far. I wouldn't trust that just yet. I think I might have been 16th, but obviously it's still an early exit.
True.
They got 3 kill points, so it's not nothing. But if the game ends now, it may as well be nothing. We'll have to see. I don't know where that would put them, honestly, if it did end now. Heck has actually moved across to try and take position on the rock, as the zone has shifted a little bit south of that position the Bear Claw Gaming was holding. And they'll get that information soon. Okay, team's starting to evac in now. This is where it starts to get really important.
Well, they haven't really worried about Tom Yum Kung, who have taken up a residence on the south side of that cliff. Wonton Dumpling are moving their way forward as well. They've got some ruins to play around. SWQ, bit of a mess for them. They've gotten knocked out. MDY Black also lost their lives. And across the kill feed, I'm sure you're going to see some vomit basically at this point. Just get ready, because there's going to be a lot of teams disappearing very, very, very quickly. as they are now having to push their way out from Big Mord as well. There goes MDY White alongside outside. At the very least for Tom Yum Kung, they've put themselves in a good spot, and you can see the minimap pull there. It's actually gone south.
Yeah.
It's actually gone away from Bear Claw Gaming, so their job actually does get more difficult now.
Well, I thought they should have thirded that fight, actually. So Tom Yum Kung took out, I think it was... Well, I can't remember, but either way, they took out that, and they, there was some knocks going on there. If Bear Claw Gaming had have gone for them at that point, they would have had an advantage. Most likely would have been able to finish off the fight, and then all of a sudden they've got access to a lot of loot. And obviously that is one of the biggest factors that is working against them right now. If they've missed that opportunity, I don't know if there's going to be another one.
I agree. I think this has definitely moved away from a Bear Claw Gaming favored finish to a Tom Yum Kung potentially favored finish. It depends on Wonton Dumpling as well, what they do and what they have to play around. Legends are now flying through the air. They're going to land dead center, basically inside of the caravan, which was pre-trapped, by the way. And I think they're probably going to be up the creek without a paddle and unable to do too much. But what I'm worried about, or for Bear Claw Gaming at least, is these teams that have to come out of Big Mord and move down from the north, because there's not that much cover for them to play, and one of them might just gamble for a spot on the cliff.
Absolutely, yeah. I think that's a very, very real possibility there. We saw Legends Gaming, they're set up in the RV. Once they get, there we go, just another a gen coming up now. I always say this, RVs, not too bad for Watson teams. For everyone else, they're a death trap, but they do have that Watson to play as Serenity try and fight for their lives over here. There's so many other teams doing it. Lightning Unicorn, even Team Burger over here, and they're all struggling, frankly.
Yeah, I mean, no one has actually decided to try to in onto Bear Claw Gaming, so that'll be good news for our lobby leaders at the moment. Heroes out, Serenity out, Lightning Unicorn out. There's that kill feed vomit I'm talking about.
4 teams are left!
We're down to 4 remaining teams. Wonton Dumpling, Legends, and Tom Yum Kung alongside Bear Claw Gaming. So if you're going to win this lobby right now, you have to go through the best of the best. And Bear Claw Gaming, I mean, they've been given a chance, but this is a tough gauntlet to run.
They have found some death boxes somewhere. They've got not a lot in terms of meds, but I think they were able to resupply with some of the ammo by the looks of it, but they are getting sent now. Tom Yum Kung, they sense blood, and unlike Bear Claw, they are not afraid to push it.
Yeah, welcome down. It's not looking good for Bear Claw Gaming at all.
They trade one back.
Did get the knock onto Dexter. There's no cross shots really coming across onto this fight. It's a good old-fashioned 2-on-2 at this point. Asia and Ziki, they're charging their way forward, and they'll be aware that Bear Claw Gaming is still in the fight. Heck trying to save the day, and he's done. It will go one more. Tom Yum Kung keep the dream alive for everyone except for Bear Claw Gaming. And you'd have to say at this point, Bear Claw Gaming will have done enough to see maybe Tom Yum Kung and potentially Wonton Dumpling through to that match point as well.
And it was a clean 3v3 on the other side, by the way. Wonton Dumpling pushed into the caravan to take out Legends Gaming, and now they get to have that final boss fight against Tom Yum Kung. And I just can't help but think, if they had have pushed Tom Yum Kung when they were down to 2 10 minutes ago, Bear Claw Gaming could have won this.
Maybe, but it's so easy to say in hindsight. And so difficult to do in the moment. Tom Yum Kung down to just 1 member alive. Wonton Dumpling, it's a 2-on-1 for them. They're trying to give Jackie Chan some time to pop a bat. He's been able to do that, and the push is now coming through. It should be an easy one for Wonton Dumpling, and it is, but it is heartbreak, really, for Bear Claw Gaming, because they did, you could argue, almost everything that they could, and they got all of the benefits of the zone pulls, and they couldn't quite make it happen.
Yeah, that was a little tough there for Bear Claw Gaming. They had that nice little nest on the rocks. I was just on the edge of my seat, Elfish. Unfortunately, they, just got pushed out of their position there. They just needed that win, but look, we go again. We're going to keep the games rolling. Another one, close to match point, I think was Dreamfire, but they got knocked out at about 10th position. Also Serenity, very close to match point eligibility, but I don't think they made the cut. They didn't really solidify any KP, I don't think, and coming about 8th, so, only getting about 2, and I think they're about 42 points. But I think Wonton Dumpling have done it. They had about 8 kill points there at the end with a win. So I'm pretty certain that they might just have made that match point.
Yeah, I'm sure Wonton Dumpling would have been able to do so. I'm sure Tom Yum Kung would have been able to make it. The rest of the teams, I'm not too sure. Team Virgo got knocked out a little earlier on the point. They seem to have been having a couple of issues sort of getting these last couple of points that they need to sort of put it over the line. And beyond that, I'm not sure that there was too many other teams to really touch on. But yeah, that's got to be a painful one for Bear Claw Gaming. And here's the information, right? So we have Wonton Dumpling 65, Bear Claw 63, Tom Yum Kung 58. Those three now can find a win in the next game, end it here and now. And then MDY White, Team Burger not too far away. Just a stone's throw, but quite a few teams now that are kind of like one game away. But Bear Claw Gaming, they would be sitting there right now thinking to themselves, man, we just missed out on the best opportunity that we're probably going to get to win a game today. If that zone pool hadn't have gone south, the one that sort of went over Tom Yum Kung, I think Bear Claw Gaming might have walked it in. But the fact that another team was able to set up on the cliff made it a little difficult to play for Bear Claw Gaming. And might have been right in saying that they needed to third party that fight and sort of clear the cliff out. But obviously, as we saw, they didn't. And so it do be like that sometimes, and you reap what you sow. And unfortunately, that game could have been the difference between them making it to LAN and not, and they haven't been able to do it there. So,
but you know what?
Well, they've still got chances. But
that's it.
Yeah.
Yeah, but this is where I guess it gets interesting. We only had Bear Claw Gaming being the only one in match point eligibility, but now we've added, Wonton Dumpling to the mix as well. So, this is where it could be any of these teams, Tom Yum Kung as well. And I guess all three of these teams have taken out wins today. So it's, they're definitely going to be in contention for that. We're going to take ourselves just a quick little short break as the Apex games continue. We will see you in a moment.
Game 6. Game 6 coming up. Final game. This is a previous play. Game 2 ata to. Game 2, yes, game 2. Kami dumpling. Wonton dumpling nga. Game 2. Game 1 pala. Sorry, game 1. Wonton dumpling game 2. Kami ang Kung game 3. Bear Claw Gaming. Sino yung game 4? Sino nanalo si game 4? Nalo pa sila dun. Kung. And then third is Bear Claw or Team Burger. Kinain nila yung nade. Kinain nila yung nade dun. Tatlong team.
Reignite is gonna do it! They are your champions! Dark Zero is going to be your champions of the Apex Legends Global Series!
Yeah, welcome back, everyone. You're witnessing greatness in the making as we've almost seen our first match point contenders, Bear Claw Gaming, take out a win. But you know what? Once on Dumpling said, no, that will not happen in our books. You know, they just wanted to take out game number 6. We had Tom Young Kung, you know, have come into the mix as well. Elfish reaching match point eligibility. We now have 3 teams to watch out for who could potentially put a halt to the games today. But, you know, will they be able to do it as we head over to Storm Point once again?
I'm not going to lie, it's actually kind of surprising to me that we've only got 3 teams after 6 games that are match point eligible.
Final game!
I've done quite a few of these match point formats,
6.
and normally at this stage you'd have 5, 6, like maybe even up to 7 or 8 teams that are potentially at that point. But the thing is, like, we've been seeing like such a sort of even kind of a lobby, like the spread of numbers is just so good, with the exception really being War Monster Firebird. Everyone has been able to at least get themselves in some capacity into the points, and that's obviously making it harder for the teams towards the top end to like soak up the excess points that they normally would. I think that goes to show just the relative strength of the lobby overall. So 3 teams, I would still say it's probably an outside shot to end here. I reckon we go another would be like, that would, if you're a betting man, that would be the bet that you'd probably have to put here, because 3 teams is still not a huge portion of the lobby.
Yeah, no, exactly right. You know, we still have teams like Team Burger
Quantum
that
Dumpling.
have
This
shown
is
us
their
amazing skill
parang
coming over to
top
Storm
spot nila.
Point. So, you know, they still only need to collect a couple more points just to put themselves
point.
into the
Dalawa
eligibility
sila dito.
there. But you know what? I guess we're going to have to wait and see what happens in that sense. You know, we love coming over to Storm Point. You know, we've got Akuma War Monster Firebirds having their, I guess, their contest there. At Checkpoint, Akuma are at 2-0 at the moment. Elfish, you know, taking that contest. So I don't know, will they be able to do that and put themselves into match point eligibility? It's going to be, I guess, a tight squeeze for them. But again, it could still be one of these 3 teams that are in eligibility to take out the win. They've done it before. All 3 teams that are in the match point eligibility have won today.
That is true. There's a chance they might do it again.
That's it, and we're going to head straight in. We're going to find out. This is match number 7. We're going to head back over to Storm Point. Let's see how this plays out.
Geez, you'd have to be breathing a bit of a sigh of relief, though, if you're boogie boarders, wouldn't you? Because at the moment, they're sitting in 19th on the day's play, and that would give them 1 point, which certainly isn't going to put them in a favorable position with 87 total for the season. They would maybe even stand in the ways of getting knocked out of the top 8. I don't know what your thoughts are on that, Genome, but at least if I'm boogie boarders right here, I'm breathing a sigh of relief that they've got at least another chance to sort of jump up the standings a little bit here. And really all it takes for them is 1 good game, but they haven't been able to conjure any of that tonight.
No, I mean, 1 good game probably get them up a couple of spots, might get them to maybe 16th. There's a couple of, you know, teams that aren't too far ahead of them as we watch this contest play out for the third time today between almost Firebird and Akuma. Definitely some, you know, some juking going on depending on how the jump mastering goes. It's a, you know, a little understood art that matters a lot in these contests because, you know, who manages to get there first and grab, you know, one of the tri-bins over on the right-hand side. It's a big deal, and this time we actually saw
dalawang squad dito maglalan.
Whereas in the previous contest that Akuma has won, they've had control over pretty much all of that. Now, Shark quite close to them, playing on the underneath here, and on the Revenant as well.
Sila yung unang eliminate, like, Game 4 ata yun.
Having a much better day than War Monster 5 though, so...
Pinush sila ng Akuma. Uh-oh.
Half shields, Yukoi, half HP. So, Akuma's doing it tough actually in this initial engagement for the first time. It was 2 from 2 for Akuma on the last couple of contests, but this one might peter out into nothing. What War Monster Firebird want to do. Azu's sort of floating around underneath them.
Yeah, they finally get up and decide to take the roof here. Oh, nice longbow shots here. Kilo hits 2 in a row onto Shark. But still can't find the angle.
Azu's tried to find a flank. More interested in going for
play slow.
A bit of extra loot.
Reset.
It's played out in a very different way now that War Monster Firebird have changed up their team composition. But anyway,
be ready.
We're back in action, and it looks like we'll be heading back over to Stormcatcher once again. So, somewhat of a similar finish to one we've already seen tonight. Maybe
same
not,
kasi sila ng location.
Exactly where the previous one did. It was a win from Team Burger.
Yeah, it may end up a little more to the east there, so maybe teams like MDY Whites in the compound up there might be okay. You can see VK Gaming zooming in at the moment. They've just exited the Trident. Team Burger, of course, won that one, and they are once again heading into Secret.
Why not? They won from this position before. Let's give it another crack.
I actually did see in the lobby chat after the game they won last time.
I know what you're gonna say.
Yeah, Price. You said Wei sat at our back and scanned behind us for 3 zones in a row, because that's the only vulnerability, right? Like here, where we're looking at, where MDY are pushing up, you pretty much can't lose from that position. Of course, they did not. But yeah, as long as you're watching your back, clearing your back, you are fine. But that, of course, depends on the ring pulling that way, which it may not necessarily do this time.
Yeah, I'd be a little surprised if we got an exact of that previous circle. Bearclaw Gaming down on a member. Brunei going to try to get raised inside of that smoke. Off straight away. Belkin. This could be Bearclaw Gaming getting knocked out very, very quickly in this subsequent game. Is it Legends that they're fighting? That's not an easy team to go up against.
No.
It's gone from 100 to 0 really for Bearclaw Gaming. It feels like, you know, they had every possibility in that last game, and now they have to do it as 2. Heck is being chased by Belkin. That's a tough one to win, though. He got the bat off.
Yeah, needs to grab another one, though. Well, they're in the coffin right now, and it might truly be in that before too long with just the duo.
I mean, there's so many teams, dude. Like, look how many teams there are around. Like, Belkin and Heck, they get set up, but
they're going for the banner.
They're just pushing in their direction. Oh, this is so
nice. He grabs it, though, double time. Sacrifices. Look, 3 of his 7 remaining cells, but I think that's worth the trade-off there. You know, no time to loot even. Just wanted to grab that banner.
Where do you get the res, though? Like, if you don't get it now, you're not going to get it, I don't think, because there's teams that are already pushing their way into this area. This is the sort of the area of the zone that's expected for the final couple of circles. So it's only going to get busier from here. And if you don't get it done now, it gets harder and harder as the game goes on.
I mean, yeah, you either somehow have to take Stormcatcher off Wonton Dumpling, who are literally watching you with a Sentinel. They just hit a shot, bleeding them further dry of their resources. And if not, you have to go down south, right? There's a respawn beacon near the triple house below this, near the gravity cannon. And there's also one just above Launchpad as well. So they're kind of the only 2 realistic options, I would say. Even then, still a tough ask.
Well, I mean, just to keep everyone up to date with what's happening there, they have dropped off of position they were in, and they are, I think, looking for a spot where they can find a revive. So at least they're attempting to go for it. Oh, Legends Gaming, this has been an uncharacteristic performance from them tonight. Not going to affect their chances of going through to land. And I suppose everyone's allowed to have a rough day. If you're going to have a rough day, would you prefer it to be today after you've already locked things in? Maybe.
That's one way to pump your Evo up.
Well, they should now be able to get that res, because heading down in the direction of Launchpad, there's not really a whole lot going on there. Serenity, you know, they're down toward Launchpad, so is SWQ, but there is a revive. There's a respawn beacon there right in front of them. It's not even in Launchpad, so I think they'll get this respawn off okay. They're going to have to sort of sack a bit of zone control off of it, though. Obviously, they'll have to take their time to rotate back up, which they may not get a strong position this late.
I mean, the answer to, you know, whether it matters to Legend Gaming is basically they can't get third, realistically. They can't drop below second where they are right now, and they would have needed an exceptional performance and for Wonton Dumpling to do badly to get first place. So now that Wonton Dumpling is doing well, it basically just doesn't matter at all for Legends Gaming, honestly. They're probably going to get the same amount of prize money. They're probably going to stay second. Yeah, I think without clinching, I guess they could still clinch a match point win and take it over Wonton Dumpling that way. But even then, that would, you know, Wonton Dumpling would have to slip down further in the standings for that to work.
They have a lot to play for. Match point is on offer. They've been playing very well tonight, actually.
Ape it.
Generally been a bit of a hot and cold team, and I think maybe tonight even is a little bit representative of that, but the games where they've looked good, they've looked really good. So I'll say they're in with a pretty good shot. And they would sort of...
Yeah, there you are.
Would have maybe come out of nowhere, like, in a way. Like, we always knew that Tom Young was a solid contender, but they haven't really felt like a massive threat this season. And then all of a sudden, walk away with first place at the end of the day would be... You'd be like, okay, you know, I'm not surprised necessarily, but they weren't the one on the tip of my tongue, at least going into today.
It also speaks well for LAN, right? Because if you're doing well in this lobby here in the regional finals, you know, it's more like it is closer to a LAN quality lobby, and the way it plays out and the, you know, the amount of sort of zone knowledge and you know, decision-making ability required to succeed in this type of environment is definitely more similar to LAN. So I think, yeah, I think that does speak to the fact that Tom Young Kung are a team of that quality, and that they have succeeded on that level before as well.
Look at that zone pull. Club Gaming not really in a great spot to do much with it. Wonton Dumpling, I think, are going to find it tough as well. They can play Stormcatcher for a little bit longer, but they're going to have a pretty busy side of the zone to fight it out in. And Tom Yum Kung coming in from Command Center right now. I mean, just from what I'm seeing on the minimap here, like if I had to freeze frame right now and say, do you think the game ends here on match 7?
Or probably Firebird and Tom Young Kung. Tom Young Kung.
I mean, Bear Claw even... Oh, they got the res, by the way. You can see down the bottom there. Yeah, so they went for the right option that I was talking about, the one above Launchpad, near the Prowler Den. So, good for them. It was all a ploy to grab extra respawn Evo armor.
Ultimate's a go.
X and Y quite far north. Going to see whether or not the zone at their back is going to bring with it any surprises, but it looks okay. Water still yet to get on the board this game. And they're playing the same position that they did the last time we saw this similar zone. So you can tell that they've got those sort of rotation paths down a little bit, but hasn't really been coming together today, so I'm not sure that I'm super sold on it.
Yeah.
And outside causing problems for them now.
And what they don't know is that, yeah, once again, it's not pulling to this hill, therefore it's not going to favor them.
Oh, shit.
All of a sudden, outside get the drop on them.
Yeah, that's a lot of damage to start things off from A-Flow, and there's more to follow where that came from. Oh, the Bangalore straight through is a good couple of shots in from Rakib that he gets eliminated.
Boogie Borders.
So does Boogie Borders. They've just had a tragedy of a night, really.
I mean, as if it's not bad enough to have, you know, Revenants jumping at you in ranked. Now they have to deal with it in Pro League as well. And I mean, they're going to be furious about this because Outside have been immediately taken down. And that, again, you know, we were talking about the definition of inting before. That's kind of one of them, right? If you go down immediately after taking another team down as the first team to lose, you're kind of liable to be mad about that. I mean, sure, you could have won your 3v3, but, you know, either way, you're probably going to lose as a result of that other team's decision. And yeah, Boogie Boarders are just going to be, frankly, ropeable about that.
Well, it's just the nature of the game, unfortunately.
And push.
Careful Gaming.
Push it.
Like they might not be a bad chance still in this game if they can clear the southern side of the zone. It's actually not too busy. They might, with a couple of favorable zone pulls, still have something yet to say, and that's a good finish on Dreamfire.
Nice play.
All the loot that they need. VK Gaming aware. Casa is just sitting at the bottom of the ramp, basically watching for that push to come through from Bearclaw Gaming, but he'll no doubt move his way back up the ramp as the push comes in.
You gotta remember, they've got the Bloodhounds as well, though, right? So if Belkin scans him and then they just, like, absolutely monk Casa, it could be an issue. They've spotted them out now, though, so it definitely knows they're there. Hey, we finally see that rotation I was talking about the other game. This time it's actually Tom Young-Kung who pulls it off with the evac outside. And sadly, you know, it wasn't the Thunderwatch Hill zone, so they have to do it in round 3 rather than, say, round 4 or round 5. So Tom Young-Kung, oh my lord, that is not great. Oh, they survived? Really? I thought one of them was going to go down for sure.
Well, they haven't exactly ended up in God spot. No, let's just put it that way, but
they've got a lot of loot, though.
Something to play with. I mean, Wonton Dumpling are now also having to move their way out of Stormcatcher, so there's quite a few teams here that we have to really keep our eyes on. Wonton Dumpling and Tom Young-Kung are kind of right next to each other, and then obviously Bearclaw Gaming working their way up the ramp against VKG. Once the zone pulls in, this might not be too bad for Tom Young-Kung. They can start thinking about playing on top. But Wonton Dumpling are really doing it tough at the moment.
Lobby leaders, as you say, you know, doing it tough. They haven't been able to find purples yet, despite getting a little bit of damage for this team. They're up against War Monster Firebird, a team with nothing to lose, and of course, again, they're going against those forward shadows. Shark on the Revenant has popped the ultimate. Wonton Dumpling, they're ticking away. We may lose another match point lobby leader right here.
Yeah, P-God, it's not looking good for Wonton Dumpling, just the one man standing, and there's just too much to do here. You can never win that fight. You don't have any options, any choices. You don't have any proactive play to make, and it's just impossible to win at that point. Tom Young-Kung, I mean, they're happy with it, obviously. They've got some cross shots actually on that engagement. You can see them coming in on the side of the screen. War Monster Firebird really causing problems for a few teams in the lobby right now, because Akuma also down a player. A couple of players, actually. Tom Young-Kung surprisingly unscathed, and their side of the zone is starting to clear out.
All eyes on Tom Young-Kung right now, because Bearclaw Gaming have been eliminated. Two of them got taken down by VKG when they were pushing up the hill. Heck did manage to make it past the gravity cannon, but they cleaned him up eventually, picking up the scent, picking up the trail with the Bloodhound. And, okay, VK Gaming have eliminated another threat to this game ending, or this series, I should say, ending here on match 7. Only one team left alive that can make that first place a reality, and that is Tom Young-Kung.
Well, they have a very rough rotate to make right now, and the zone is at their back, so I'll be very impressed if they can make this one work. Like I said, Genome, I think we're probably going to another one, but let's see what Tom Young-Kung can negotiate. They want to go for the balloon, maybe, but they're going to be one of the last teams to use that, so I'm not sure where they even will end up once they fly their way in. This is going to have to be a huge battle, and that's not going to help. Oh, dear.
What the hell?
What has happened to Ziki? He's landed on top of the orange, which is just in. No, it's not even in. Oh, man, this is a mess. How does he even get to them?
He's so far away from his team, but he's actually not being punished for it. The double time kind of working out. He almost makes it there. He may not get finished off. He's been scanned. There are teams that know he's knocked it on the ground right now. Legends Gaming, do they decide to peek over? The other two on the roof.
Typical Apex Legends.
Got to try and crawl onto the roof somehow, or just hope no one's going to finish him off.
Yeah, I mean, I think it's more likely that they drop down for the res. I mean, ALGS has his ult available. He could try and pop down and just like literally ult on top of himself to secure the res. It's possible.
They're going to go for it. It's Dexter that's dropped. They're going to get that res by the looks of things. MDY White aren't pushing out of the building. Oh, they've actually managed to get the res there. Tom Yum Kung.
Oh my god.
Somehow.
ALGS went crazy in the building actually against MDY White and shredded two of them. And that's actually enough for them to get the reset. Are you kidding me? Oh my god, hero play from ALGS.
It's not done just yet. They've got to get the meds off as well. They've got to get the bats and the meds off. But Ziki, he was tossing Arc Stars down at the door while that res was happening. There was no way they could have pushed their way out. And somehow, against all the odds, all three Tom Young Kung members get onto the roof.
Nuts. Absolutely nuts. All right, so the zone is pulling to the northeast here, okay? That is towards Keep Going Gaming. They have the best spot. Currently, teams like Burger, who have managed to hold on to Secret, but are now going to have to push out, along with all these other teams, are going to keep going. Tom Young Kung, despite that fantastic reset, don't look like they're going to be making it much further in this game.
No, someone had shots on that roof, and they were just getting absolutely peppered. I don't see that you're going to get the win as a solo. I mean, of course, it's always possible to drop the Rolling Thunder to try to provide a bit of cover, maybe even just from the smoke that gets tossed on up here, but I think we're going to go one more. And MDY White, well, they'll have to push their way out of the building as well now, down to just a couple. This is a really tough zone to play. No one really expected it to go in this direction, so everyone's having to make concessions. And Tom Yum Kung, they're looking for another res.
Oh no!
Yeah.
Shot through the smoke.
Damn it.
Yeah.
Telegraphed
it a little bit there with the smoke canister, and just up to Ziki now. So unless he can pull off something even more superlative than what we saw from Bear Claw Gaming earlier on, it looks like it may be a game 8 that we go to. At least a game 8.
Gaming. In the middle of the zone right there. They've got the alternator pylon up. They've got a couple of fences, and they are 3 strong. Might be one of those games that we are hoping to see from Legends Gaming. That's sort of been missing a little bit tonight. Don't know that it would be enough to get them into match point territory, but it would get them probably into 1 game territory at least.
Yeah. AGL playing the wall over here. You know what's crazy? That concrete wall that you see in front of you is just as strong as the tarpaulin that Legends Gaming is sitting behind.
Well, Ziki's about to die. There you go.
Final
go one more.
circle. Game 6.
Yes,
4
has
squads
just
left.
The defensive bombardment
Keep going,
right on
Gaming.
top of that alternator pylon, though. So I'm not sure what that's really going to do to Legend. I don't think they're too concerned about that, but it has allowed AGL to sort of cross at least. You can see them working their way around the side of that zone. They want to get to the rock, and they had to use the double, which now faded, and it's starting to go wrong for them. Legends Gaming are fighting back. And they're saying, no thank you, we're not very interested in what you're selling. We just want 11 more points out of this game, and maybe it's possible. Maybe it is possible if they can get most of the kills.
Walang nade.
Alright, Legends Gaming controlling the middle of this circle.
Ipa-focus talaga nila
Easy
yung
flash,
sa
always
taas.
with the damage here. Almost up to reds. A few more Hemlock bursts will get him there. He's got Taste of Blood as well. He's gone for the less picked level 2 upgrade for Bloodhound. Oh, gets a beautiful stick, and that's a celebration to get him to red, but also take down AGL as they're now in the final 2 between Legends Gaming and Keep Going Gaming.
Well, you can see Keep Going Gaming have made it to 51 points there. Legends Gaming, I think if they do win this, they actually make it. If they get those 3 kills plus the extra placement points, it's... We'll have to check when we get to the standings. Whether or not they even win, I guess it's going to be the next question. Of course they will. Legends Gaming. Have they now done enough to make it into match point?
Ilang points sa
Yeah, look,
kanila?
I reckon they have. I think
kills
the mass was right there. Probably would have been another 6 points that they pick up. Indeed, to to move up and
Nice.
into match point eligible status. So congratulations to Legends Gaming, one of our stalwart
Game
teams here in
6
Apex
has been
South.
completed.
And, you know, they've got that
Legends
third place
Gaming is the
land
winner,
finish.
the champion.
They want to hang their
Game 6.
hats on lace, but maybe they're looking for more at the Split 1 playoffs.
Yeah, this is exactly what we see from Legends Gaming. You know, we just reached game number 7 in our regional finals here in Apex South. You know, Bearclaw Gaming, Wonton Dumpling being knocked out early there. Genome, you know, it set all eyes on Tom Young Kung as our third, you know, match point team. You know, getting eliminated with poor Ziki hitting such a terrible flight path. You know, landing themselves on the ball. You know, having to fight for the life. So, you know what that means for us? That means the games keep on flowing. And it's going to be exciting to see who sort of hits that next match point eligibility. I do believe that there might be a few teams added in and amongst the midst. Of course, it's going to be Legends Gaming.
Yeah, no.
You know, leading the pack, leading the charge. You know, we definitely just seen a couple of not terrible games, but not their best games recently, and they finally just flipped the switch, turned things around, and they take out the win in game number 7.
Then your score.
It's going to be exciting to see this. Here we go.
This game, 11
see
kills.
them just absolutely obliterate.
3k damage, 3.7k damage.
Hard-hitting damage.
Keep
there.
going,
We always see,
gaming.
you know,
1
Easy
kill.
Flash pulling out the big guns.
2k damage.
Together with 11
2.2.
kills. I think that means that they are now match point eligible. Of
Select
course,
second,
we'll take a look at that in a
second
moment.
place.
But again, keep going gaming coming into the mix with AGL as well. I know AGL were fairly close. So I guess we're going to have to wait and see.
All right. Well, as we take a look at the scoreboard,
Wonton Dumpling,
second
66.
place.
Bearclaw
with
Gaming,
1
66.
kill from Keep
Tom
Going
Yum Kong,
Gaming. More like
65.
Keep Our Heads Down Gaming has managed to put them on match point eligible status. That is an unlikely and honestly kind of nuts scenario there from our game 7. So yeah, look, congrats to KPG, who at times looked like they might not even make the regional finals. Now, all of a sudden, have their shot at glory and fame overseas. Legends Gaming do get there, obviously, with that win. And then MDY White also joining them, a team who, you know, only squeaked through to land last year, Lace, and then became pretty much the crowd favorite after that. That was one of the most fun things to see. This team that, you know, typically had not had a lot of success in APAC South, just becoming a crowd sensation with all of that lovely support from their fans over in China.
Yeah, you know, we love MDY White. We've seen some excellent stuff from them, and obviously, you know, their sister team, MDY Black, they have seemed to be going a little bit head-to-head in today's matches, which is quite interesting to see. But, you know, they are the ones that stand out on top. I was actually a little bit surprised to see Team Burger there not actually reach match point eligibility. I thought they might have just done it. I think they're at 49.
Yep.
So depending on how these games go, we now have just doubled the teams that could take out the win today. Do Team Burger, you know, have enough? Is it going to go there in their favor, I guess, in this sense? But yeah, I'm a little bit shocked that they didn't get it in that game.
Like a curse for them, right? That's, I mean, Elvis has talked about it a couple of times today, the 49-point curse for Team Burger, so they can't get it across the line. Does that mean that they're going to win the next game, Lace? Because that would really kind of complete that curse.
Yeah, so if they can take out that win, that means that, you know, no one else gets it in those 6 teams. But we're going to take ourselves another short break, and we're going to see if some of our 6 teams that are in match point eligibility can win it for us today. We'll see you shortly.
来，一起打，一起打，三个字，来，过来，一起打。三个字，过来，一起打，过来，一起打。三个字，我再跟你，我再跟你，我再跟你，我左边，左边，左边，左边，黑墙要烧了，黑墙插了。来，跟我，跟我，跟我，跟我，跟我。黑岛三个字，我给大，我给大，我给大，跟我，跟我，跟我。丢我一个，丢我一个。nice，我操！
They're still inside. Walking. Crack.
Approaching. One net. I'm put this guys.
Crack.
On me. It's crack again. Nice, let's go. Let me get this player.
Nice one. Oh. Bro, I didn't get to do anything that I didn't give.
They're not going. What? Bên kia chạy ra chậm lên,
ติดตัวนี้ไม่เห็นเพื่อน
เฟนนะกูน้ำเบ็ดตายโลกแล้วหลังรถแจ็คขวาขวาตัวนึงแจ็คเอ็มตัวล่างนี่น้องหนึ่งครับหน้ากูน้องตัวให้ตัวหลังรถแจ็คเล่นหลังได้เพื่อนเต่าเล่นหลังได้เฮียกูเด้งกันทำมาชิปเปอร์
我左边贴好吗？我左边贴了，我左边有枪线。倒两个。我这边几个了。我脸上有耳机，烟妹好残，这里烟妹好残。死完了。这里。倒两个，倒三个，倒两个，快！打兄弟！打好了吧，兄弟！帅！没有。没事，我去他那边，我拖他那边。右手，打左手，打左手，我给他刀了。我吸到了。烟妹一滴，求你们！倒了，这边反斜。我反斜打好多好多头啊！冲！帅！
You don't need to peek it. Don't. I'm
Okay. We're not late, sorry.
I'm ulting.
We can use the fucking key.
On the wall. Big kills.
Front.
50 flash from
What's the one dead? Pick the wall, pick the fucking wall.
On the...
He's on 100. Crack.
I'm pushing. That's 9, mate.
Hey.
Let's fucking go.
Mati.
Pero patay pa sila dyan. Nice beam. Wala, patay.
Surprise.
Hello again, everyone. Things are getting serious here in Apex South. We now have 6 teams in contention for the match point as we are about to head into game number 8. Teams like Team Burger, who are sitting on the 49 points, need to take the win, or have, I guess, Genome, all 6 teams that have been absolutely obliterating and performing today choke and fall out early.
Yeah, that is one way to put it. Definitely some teams, that we've been really surprised by today. Dreamfire have slipped down into 17th place. That is risky for them. They were looking very good going into today at 77 points. But they probably need, 13-ish to probably make it through here, Lace. And that's a far cry away from where they are at the moment. So Dreamfire actually, like Boogie Borders, at risk of not getting it through. Even though we have 8 spots now in Apex South, the most we have ever had. The region is still looking so competitive that we've got a lot of these teams that are quite good are potentially not making it through.
Yeah, exactly right. We've been keeping a close eye on Boogie Borders sitting 3rd overall in the overall standings. And then, like you said, adding Dreamfire to that mix as well, who, are underperforming, I guess, sitting at 6. But that's 2 teams then being knocked out of the way to make room for teams like Tom Young Kung and MDY White here as well. Even Serenity, they still need to, like Burger, get a little bit of something in this next match to move up to match point, eligibility. So, it is just insane. But I guess we've, had a little bit of another insane thing happen. A whole season change, season 20 Genome. So we obviously have, I guess our new characters with all their different things here. Why don't you take us through Bloodhound, which is a massive pick for our teams today?
Yeah, it's been very prevalent in this lobby, and I think it's a good time to bring it up, Lace, because we saw at the end of that last match that Easy Flash was going against the grain there. He'd picked Raven's Blessing as well as Taste of Blood. Now, tactical cooldown, I know here it says 83%. I would have thought that one is actually, even the higher picked out of all 4 of these. With, being able to use that scan and refresh, very, very good, as well as Odin's Glare, as you can see, definitely getting picked up more. But we see it can definitely work the other way. Easy Flash picking, both of the ones on the right-hand side because they enable him as a fragger, and he definitely popped off in that last game. 1,800 damage. He picked up a swag of kills, and you saw, with the 6, the wingman, all that sort of stuff coming through in that last circle as well. Easy Flash is definitely putting those perks to work.
Yeah, that's exactly right. I guess if we have the Ravens list, we were talking about teams that had like a longer rotate and that coming into play, being able to scan, I guess, all the Ravens along the way and moving forward. But yeah, to have, I guess, that's a great way of thinking it, to have it as a fragger is something that, is great to see in the mix. Of course, we've got a lot of other characters too that we've been seeing. I guess like the Bloodhound and over the Bloodhound, we've had like the Caustic come into play, which has been a huge, I don't know if I throw the word out, crutch coming back into this season. We had Caustic as meta for quite a while. And then, we saw him disappear, which Genome, I was not mad about that. I was not mad that Caustic sort of fell off in meta, but now he's back. And you can see teams, I guess, choosing Particle Diffuser, for example, I guess, over Parabolic Force.
Look, I don't know why you're hating here, Lace. I'm really happy to see the big boy back, personally. But yeah, as you say, when we look at his effectiveness in comp, definitely more people going for that Particle Diffuser. But sometimes it depends, right? Like, I think if you're set up, Parabolic Force is not necessarily as useful, but it can be of use if you're trying to push your way into someone else's building or something like that, right? And then you got residual toxins there, definitely getting picked over Breathe It In a little bit more. And part of that is because of how long that vision lasts for, and just enabling people in the visual clutter, the bang smokes, the caustic ults, all that kind of stuff. Almost like sort of having a mini Bloodhound on your team, version 2.
Yeah, exactly right. But yeah, I can tell you why I hate Caustic is because, you know what, you could be 1 HP and then run around a corner or run into the wrong building and a gas trap goes off and that could be the end of you. So, you know what, it is a huge meta for our teams, and, they are playing extremely well. And like you said, it's a massive change, and having the Bloodhound, I guess, and all the smoke happening is great for them too. But I think we've got something to have a look at. One of our teams that we've got to keep a close eye on in this next match, Team Burger. They are 49
if you
points
like
at the moment.
my content, please paki-subscribe ako sa YouTube channel ko. Paki-subscribe ako sa... subscribe to my YouTube channel, MztrDale. Links down, all my socials. All the links. I can't speak. God damn it. All the links on my socials are down below. Okay, subscribe to my YouTube channel. It's MztrDale. Follow me on Twitch. I just started streaming 2 weeks ago. It's MztrDale. TikTok, MztrDale. Instagram, also MztrDale. But when in Facebook, it is MztrDale Gaming. I tried to change it to just MztrDale, but I couldn't. There's like, I don't know.
This was actually a 3v2, which they struggled.
I can't change my. I don't have any explanation. They don't have an explanation why they cannot, or I'm not allowed to change my gaming Facebook page. But yeah, just follow my Facebook page, and I'll be seeing you again tomorrow. Okay, peace out. Peace out. Stay safe, and you do have a blessed, nice day, evening. All right. Thank you. Love you. Catch you on the next one. See you again tomorrow. Peace.